show the gut to the side. Look at that thing, man. Like, that, to me, looks like a PB. What do you think? That's going over 5. No, it's not 5, but holy crap. Dude. Damn right. That's a 4. Dude. 4 pounder after bat. Here we go. Oh my god. Dude. Good job, look at that. I have big hands. That thing's huge. Girthy. That's triple C thick. I'm calling them today, boys.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
We're back with that fancy ass intro again. It's been a while. It has been a day. How's everybody doing? Ben, Chris, TV18. Hope you all been doing well. I feel like I didn't set up that camera very good, but that's okay. Also, I just realized I forgot to update the thumbnail before going live. So, you know, there's that. Amateur hour.
TVBNON.
What?
I'm just reading.
Hey, David, Oliver.
Is that recording?
Brian. Oh, nope, I hit it. Thank you. I fixed the memory card. The other one crapped the bed on me.
Oh.
Which is kind of funny because Kyle picked up the 2 GoPros from me finally. I say finally, not like it's on him. We just could not get our schedules aligned. So I picked them up and I was checking memory cards. I'm glad I did because one of them was corrupt. So I had to chuck it. And then I found 2 more left over from like the early days of my GoProing that were done. Those were corrupt. And then this thing, I thought it was full. So I went and dumped it. It only had 20 gig on it. It's a 128 gigabyte card. I'm like, huh.
That ain't right.
No. So I put it on the computer. I dumped everything. It all transferred to the computer fine. I put it back in. It was like, your memory card's full. I'm like, chuck.
Bye.
Trash. Done. And thank you for the reminder on the record button. So what's going on, Bob? Z-Fish, yo. What's up? Gordy. Hey, buddy.
Hi,
Ran into
Gordy.
him earlier.
Yeah, when am I getting my big jerkbait?
I think it was awesome. We have a lot to discuss, and it's funny because we are essentially doing probably a 1.5 hour long weekend fishing report, and I am okay with that because there's a lot to talk about. A lot of things to show about what we were doing with our jigs. Not hiding anything, sharing everything that we did. I know I'm probably going to make Derek, the owner of Beast Coast, go, what the hell? When I show how I was trimming one of these jig trailers, the flipping delight.
Yeah, I was using like half of it.
Yeah, I went even a step further than you did, but we got it. We're gonna show it off. I'm gonna show you exactly how I was trimming it, and more importantly, explain why we were modifying these because of the conditions. There's gonna be a lot of seemingly the same things, but trust me, all these subtle differences made a difference, which is funny because if you remember, the thing that I wanted to do the most this year was really get into subtle changes to things I'm really confident with. So I could like take it to the next level, especially jigs. Like I wanted to mess around with colors and trailers and overall presentations and weights and the whole 9 yards. And honestly, I feel like this weekend was like a masterclass in us doing that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, we really nailed it down. And I think the numbers and the quality back that up.
Yeah.
It was a good weekend.
And it was Champlain, so.
And it was Champlain. I mean, yeah, Champlain's going to kick out numbers anyway if you have half a brain cell at least. But I still think what we did was pretty damn incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was an incredible time, too.
Damn right.
It was fun.
Oh my God. I can't wait to do it again. My back still hurts, though.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
I got a nice back rub last night, so.
Oh, I bet you did. I'm sure that's...
A little better.
I won't continue that thought. There are children watching.
Back is located.
That's the funny thing, Jules.
Yeah, my back is located on my...
And there it is.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. Oh my God. We got some funny shit to share. There was interesting things that happened a couple of times during the trip, so it was good. And thank you very much, Austin. Ben. All right, so about that big drum. Yeah, we both got him. It was good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jim. I don't like the real world. I like where we were better. John, what's up? Hey, I forgot to answer your text. I'm sorry. I was running around quite crazily right after work, and I just remembered I went and filled the propane tank, and it's still in the back of my truck, so I have to take that out after this.
Oh, good.
And then I had to take a power nap, man. I was dying. Old man mode.
Yeah.
It's 8:07. It's good enough. Let's get into it. First and foremost, for all of you that are watching, come back every week. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, drop a like on the stream. That helps like tenfold. It's great. Cam, Andrew, I like your cut, G.
Which one?
Which I don't know.
This? This?
This. Yeah, so if you haven't done it yet, please drop a like on the stream. That always helps. For anybody that comes back to watch us after the fact, leave a comment as well. That helps immensely. And of course, sharing. Word of mouth is by far one of the strongest avenues for anybody to grow in anything. So the more that you guys share, the more that we grow. And it's been phenomenal. You guys have still been doing great. It dipped a little bit for the number of overall average shares, but then again, I also know a lot more people are fishing right now. So don't hold it against you. I know what's going on. But for those that have been doing it, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I haven't been able to get back to every post that I've seen for people sharing, but I'm getting caught up. I also got caught up on a total of like 50 unread messages between Instagram and Facebook, and yeah, there was a lot.
Well, we've been busy.
We've been very busy. Ben Marshall, I got to put that Beast Coast order this week. Same with meds after Highland this weekend. Oh, geez. Yeah, Highland will mess you up real quick.
Oh.
Hey, Terry from Tennessee. How you doing, friend? Aside from that, for those that are interested in donating, we greatly appreciate anything you guys are willing to do. You can do it one of three ways. If you're set up for it here on YouTube, you can do it right here in the chat. Otherwise, in the video description below, there's a link for both our PayPal and Venmo. Anything you guys do helps immensely. I actually ended up just buying another thing yesterday. What did I buy? Yesterday? Oh, I upgraded our editing software. That's what I did with some of the money you guys have been sending us. So we were on Vegas Pro 17. There was a special offer over the weekend to upgrade for only $120 instead of buying it outright for $1,000. So that was a no-brainer. Excuse me. And it's got better plugins, so it's supposed to make it a little bit more efficient for editing in 4K.
What is this?
Vegas Pro, the video editing software.
There's a new one out?
Yeah. Well, they upgrade every year. There's new version.
Oh, okay.
So they're up to 19 now. So yeah, that's it. David, I would share it if Facebook wouldn't notify me of the streams 4 days later. Then yeah, there's a you.
What?
Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
See?
YouTube.com/603bass. Why can't I do that at the end of the stream?
Because you're
My
tired.
603 YouTube bass, yo. Get there, 8 o'clock.
Cam, Squarebill, and Jerkbait going crazy. Nice. Vermont Bass. Hey, buddy. We got Austin. There was there all week. Last week, Saturday to Saturday, all I can say is what the F was right. Straight A's all week, no wind. The only thing more consistent than jerkbait was the sunburn. True. Hey, David, thanks for joining. Again, anybody showing up, I definitely have the wrong thumbnail on there, and it's kind of bothering me, but at least the video title's correct, so there's that. I knew I was forgetting something. I was in a rush. By the time I got done dinner, I had like 25 minutes total to get everything set up, and Andrew wasn't here yet because he was going to get coffee.
Cumby sucks. They're all closed.
Am I forgetting anything else? Oh, we are going to do some more giveaways. Oh my God! I have to go upstairs and get something. I had to go upstairs and get two things. We got 2 care packages while we were gone in Vermont. Uh-huh. This is good.
Cool ones?
Oh, yeah. So one was from Jerry. Hooked us up with a bunch of hooks. His company.
Jerry.
Brusso.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
No, you're
I
going
like
to
Jerry.
be real
Jerry's
excited to see these. And then King Baits came through with a bunch of baits as well. I still get to hook up with Jason at Crazy Hick Bait because I know he said he wanted to get in on this. And then we get to hook up with Beast Coast because we had a talk earlier in the year, and he was going to start helping us out with these giveaways every week. Mm-hmm. Not just raffles, but straight up giveaways. Make it a little bit better for you guys, but we're still going to do raffles for T-shirts and hats, so stick around for that. Otherwise, let's get started first, and then as the conversation gets rolling, I'll go upstairs and get all that stuff. Unless my wife is listening and watching, I won't say no to you bringing that stuff down. She's probably going to be like, she's probably going to text me, it's already downstairs, idiot.
It's at the door.
So, did I say hi, David? If not, hi, David.
Hi, David.
Lake Champlain.
It's wet. It's water. I don't fish in it.
Like talking about like rain. I'm like, what lake were you on?
Thank God it didn't rain.
No, dude. Oh my God. Friday, gorgeous and hot. Saturday, more gorgeous, more hot. Sunday, there was a lot of threats of thunderstorms, and the lake just split it, and everything was going east and west of us. I just the other way around, west and east. And we were watching it the whole time. You could see all the mountains out into New York, and they just kept disappearing behind walls of rain. We could hear thunder every once in a while, but
it never came over the lake.
There was a little spit of rain when we first started, and we got like, what, half an hour, maybe 45 minutes into fishing, and we're like, yeah, this is dumb. We got to take off all the rain gear because it's just getting warmer and warmer.
It was 80 degrees in the bays and stuff, and then as soon as you get on the main body of water, it's like 45, 50.
Yeah.
It's freezing out there.
That was by far one of the most wild phenomenons I've ever experienced being out in the water. Like, you get out, like you said, out of these smaller bays, and then you get out onto the the main lake there on Lake Champlain, either inland sea or the other side, and all of a sudden it's just you like hit a wall of a 15 to 20 degree air temperature difference. We'll look at each other like, whoa, that's chilly.
What happened? What happened here?
And we had like a 10-mile run too. It got cold, but then as soon as we cut back in one of those coves, it was like boom, like
80 degrees.
Yeah, like opening the oven door to get your food out. It was wild. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. It was
weird.
Hey, Donk, Swampy, and Tim, thanks for joining, boys.
Donkey Swamp.
So we got up there. Let's preface, I guess, by what was the game plan? What was our thoughts prior to going there? What were you thinking we were going to see and expect?
I was expecting colder water, like maybe like low 50s, and we were going to be dragging jigs really slow.
I was thinking,
or jerkbait.
I was really hopeful for jerkbait. That's really what I thought was going to happen. That we were going to find like low to maybe mid 50s, and then that jerkbait bite was going to be fire.
Yeah,
and
nope, complete opposite.
Complete opposite. We rolled up. We got going a little bit late in the morning. I forget what happened. We were running a little behind. Did you forget something? You had to go back to your house? Yeah, you forget your food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to go back to his house for his cooler. And then the ride took a little bit longer than we anticipated. We hit like a smidgen of traffic from road construction, the whole 9 yards. Hey, Gary. And by the time we got up there and got the truck unloaded and the boat, like just rods and stuff in there, I think we were fishing by like 9:30?
9:30? Yeah, around there.
And we left town at, 5 a.m.? I think we were on the road like almost exactly at 5.
No, because we left 20 minutes after we wanted to. It was 4:50.
4:50,
We wanted to
okay.
leave at 4:30.
Not bad. It's funny because we ended up passing our buddy Dennis.
Yep.
Like halfway up. He got quite the jump on us, but I drive fast.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Hi.
Hey. So we got up there and we were fishing basically a giant cove. Really shallow overall. I would say average depth out there is probably 10 feet. Maybe 12 feet. And we rolled up on the north end figuring, because again, we thought it was going to be like mid 50s. And you get your transducer in the water. It takes a few minutes for it to warm up and acclimate to whatever the actual lake temperature is. And at that point, the sun had been beaten down on it pretty hard. So it's black, it's plastic, it's going to warm up fast. So dropped it in. I looked down at it, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later. We fished the north side. Wind was blowing up in there out of the south. And we're like, yeah, this is it. It's going to be good. And I looked down, I'm like, buddy, it's 67 degree waters. What?
Excuse me?
And it eventually settled in, I think, at 65, 64, 65.
64, 65, yeah.
We were fishing 5 days prior to this in southern New Hampshire, and the lake never got above 47 degrees.
200 miles north.
It's 20 degrees warmer.
Yeah, it was weird.
I knew it got warm, but I didn't realize it got quite that warm that fast.
I wasn't mad about it.
No. And granted, the lake we fished on Mother's Day, the Sunday before we left, it's a deep glacial lake. It's known for being colder than average. So that skews it a little bit. But nonetheless, I was not expecting mid 60s to be up on Champlain, and that's what we found. And pretty much every shallow cove, it was anywhere from like 58 to 64, wherever we went.
Yeah. And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
It's just, our game plan completely changed. It was like, all right, well, I guess go shallow
Yeah.
and see what's up there. And so we did, and instantly started getting on fish. Well, no, because we worked the north side, and it wasn't really panning out the way we thought it was going to. We went up there with chatterbaits, and I got one on the chatterbait. You got another one on the chatterbait.
I got a pike right off the bat, too, didn't I?
Oh, you did, yeah.
I think the very first fish was a pike, but then I got a bass shortly after that.
And then you got a freaking giant bluegill.
Oh, my God. That was one of the biggest pumpkin seeds I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, if you guys didn't see the pictures on Instagram or Facebook, you got to go look at it. It's from day one.
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew was like, weigh it. You really need to weigh that. I'm like, I don't want to.
I don't want to weigh it. I'm like, better fucking weigh that. He never weighed it.
I never did. Come to find out, the state record for pumpkin seed in Vermont is 1 pound 4 or 5 ounces.
Something like that, yeah.
It was either 4 or 5, I forget.
And that was that had to have been either close or just over a pound.
I honestly think it was over a pound.
I think it was too. It was huge. Dude, the thing was this big. Like it was, was massive.
I don't have small hands.
And the thing was like,
that's an 8-inch bull glide. And well, if I hold it like that, like the gill filled my damn hands. You could barely see my fingertips and everything. Like it was
a big fish.
It was a big fish. And the thing you couldn't tell from the picture, it was thick. Yeah, side to side. It was
inch and a half thick.
Yeah. Crappie tend to be like real slender little envelopes. No, dude, this thing was thick.
Triple C thick.
Maybe even quintuple C. Dude, it was wild. And I caught that was on the red lipless. Because when we first got there, we started covering water. We're like, all right, chatterbait, we'll drive a jig, and anytime we see structure. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick up a red lipless too and burn that around.
My first bait was a glide.
Yep, you just went right for the throat, and it was. We worked our way down. There's a few more rocky patches. I ended up catching 2. You caught 1 for bass. I broke something off. We think it was probably a pike. At first, thinking back on it, I don't think so. I think it was a bass.
Could have been.
More on the breaking off later. It wasn't panning out. I think we were up there for an hour. We're like, all right, screw it.
Yeah, probably about an hour.
The thing I noticed from last year, the water was much more stained than it was the year before. Like, crazy stained. Before, like last year when we were up there in the same area, I don't know, if you're fishing 5 feet of water, you can still see the bottom without issue. And this time, maybe 2 feet of visibility at most? It was stained.
Yeah, it was pretty stained.
And there also was like no vegetation like there was last year. Nothing had emerged yet. It was just a crazy fast warm up. So we're talking, we're like, all right, well, this isn't really panning out. Let's go to the southern end. That was the right decision.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one.
No. So we had 3 fish. I'm thinking like, oh man, did it warm up too fast? Like, mine's thinking 1,000 things. We get down, meet Dennis and Bill. And we're like, how you doing? They're like, we got 30. We're like, what the hell? We have 3. Right? And I was like, you mother effer. That's what you did to me last year. So I was like, all right. I looked at him. I was like, I know what we're doing now. So we started hammering the southern end. Wind coming out of it is a little calmer. The water is not nearly as stained. And we proceeded to crack them.
Yeah, left and right. It was either a pike follow or there was a bass on them, like every 3 casts.
Yeah. Oh my God, we saw some big pike.
Big pike.
Take it from there while I go first.
I had one that we were kind of just trolling along, and it was big sand flats, and there was a bunch of grass patches on the bottom, and that's where those fish were hanging out. They were moving off the sand into the grass, where it's either warmer or it's just a good ambush point. And we were coming along, and I looked down, and I see this freaking pike. I thought it was a log, like a big stick log thing, and it had to have been 3.5, 4 feet long.
Hit the mic, sorry.
And I looked down, and I just kind of dropped a jig straight down on it from 2 feet away, and it just went. I'm like, holy shit! Oh my God! Pike scare the shit out of me. I don't know. Every time I see one, they startle me. We don't have a good relationship.
I just want to point out, Woods and Weeds Outdoors comment, Champlain sucks. I barely can get 100 bass a day right now. Now where's going? But anyway, yeah, so we saw a lot of pike. Tons of pike. Which, Champlain. They're everywhere.
But they were moved up just like the bass were, and they were feeding too. And we got a couple. You got
I think I got 5.
5. I think
Pike.
I got 2.
But one of them was good.
Yeah,
Well, what we figure that was like 30.
probably 35 inches.
Yeah, roughly.
But had to have been around 35. It wasn't super fat. It was like kind of skinny and long, but the way I caught it was awesome. The way I caught on the little swim bait.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
That's right. So we were fishing at one point. Great way to catch smallmouth anywhere, especially when you're talking like late stage pre-spawn and even post-spawn, is to swim just small swim baits on light heads. You can kind of count them down to the depth you need to be at, and you just slow roll it back, and they'll come up and crush it. Works a little bit better pre-spawn than it does post-spawn. But yeah, we were doing that, and on an 8-pound line, caught a giant pike.
I caught a smallmouth, and then the next cast I went right back to the same spot, and I may have gotten 2 cranks in, and it smoked it. And I didn't know what it was. It just took it and just ran, and my drag was just peeling. I had no idea I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. This thing's big. We might have to chase this. I don't know. And then finally it stopped. I finally started getting it in. I'm like, oh man, that's a big freaking pike. Finally came up and like 2-inch swim. What was it, 2.5-inch swim baits?
3-inch.
Is it 3-inch?
Yep.
All right, so 3-inch swim bait on, I think it was a 1/4 ounce head.
Yes, 1/4 ounce Kitech tungsten. So because it's got, I think those have a 3/0 hook, and it's like a decent amount of stoutness. It's a like middling gauge. So, but a really nice hook point on it. So you can lean into it, but they're not going to bend out.
Right.
Sorry, you can ease into it.
That hook bent out, by the way.
Well, yeah, that surprised me.
But yeah, I somehow got it without nicking the teeth on the line, and if you look on the Instagram, you'll see the pictures. But man, that was a good fight. That was fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, all right, real quick before we go into it. So we got a care package from one of our watchers, and a guy I know, Jerry. He sent up a bunch of hooks from a company called Spear Point. And honestly, this is the thing I'm most excited about. Look at how thin gauge those are. And all I can think about is St. Lawrence and all those fish. Yeah, that's literally what it's for. All I can think about is the St. Lawrence. When we kept thinking, like, dude, we need a thinner gauge hook, but something that'll keep them pinned. In Jerry's words, these are like staples when you hook into a fish. They just pin them and they don't let go. Yeah.
That's really cool looking.
So, Spear Point, he sent us a ton of these hooks. Not just drop shot, but also just some other ones. What were those ones?
These are the wide gap, 4/0 wide gap.
I don't even know what else I got in here.
You guys can see that.
Oh, yeah, dude, I think he sent the whole range. I got 2/0, I got 3/0, you got 4/0. I'm hoping there's some 5/0 in here, honestly, because these look really good. 4/0. No, it's all right, the 4/0. Dude, like, for a fluke? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. It's going to be perfect. Were you able to show that off?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you can't really...
Let me click the live so you can see it a little bit easier. There you go.
Actually pull one out, but...
Whoa, gross.
What?
You pull one out on stream?
Grow up.
Actually, I'm going to open this drop shot hook, too.
Well, the drop shot's the same thing as this, just a lot smaller.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping we can show off the gauge on this. Oh, my God, dude.
I don't know if you can... I can't get the... Oops, sorry.
Easy. It might. No. Wait.
No. Well, you guys get the idea.
What if you were to put
It's
it
got
behind
this
this?
crazy ass bend in it.
What if you were to put it behind that? Or between? Yeah, do that. Yeah, now we're talking. Smart.
There we go.
Okay, it doesn't quite focus, but at least you get an idea as to what the shape and style of that hook is. Oh, no, drop shot hook. Drop shot's the same. I was going to try and show it. It's going to be too small, but it's a thinner gauge wire than what I would typically use. The Gamakatsu split shot, split, I forget, whatever. The Gamakatsu drop shot hooks. And I'm really excited to use these because, like, now is pretty much the time to start drop shotting anyway. So it's going to be good. Yeah, it definitely has a weird bend on it, Jim, but my man Jerry knows what he's doing. And he's known what he's doing longer than I've been alive. So if he says they're good, they're good. I don't need to question it. I don't need to think about it. I know I can tie it on and just rely on it. Not sponsored by them. We weren't paid to do anything for this. It was just good dude, friend. Set these up. He's like, you really got to try these hooks. Hell yeah. If you recommend them, I'm not gonna question it. I'd back up a little bit. Jim B, you did say fish today, Lakes region, water only 58, males on beds, no females. Huh. I really wish I could be up there this week. Probably smash some giant females.
Wait, sorry, I was reading Sir Altitudes.
Oh god damn it! This looks like cleaning.
That's actually suntan. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but no, actually it's not that bad because I actually got pretty.
Mine's pretty bad.
Well, my hands are always down anyway when I'm fishing, but I wore long sleeve
I stand like
UV
this when I
shirts.
fish.
Yay! More fish. All right, I just wanted to show those off really quick while I had them, and then we'll wrap up the day one recap, and then we're gonna do a quick giveaway from King's Baits. They hooked us up with some stuff for us, and then stuff specifically for you guys. If you want to take a look at that, I'll continue to roll in to day one. And thank you very much, Dan. Greatly appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for stopping by as well. So, right, day one. Started up north, didn't really work out, came back down south, and all of a sudden, okay, had a good idea it was going to be good anyway. Having Dennis right there saying, yeah, dude, like we're smashing. Okay. So we started covering water with the chatterbait because I remembered last year, pretty much identical conditions. It was just a great jackhammer bite. Picked that up. I think for the next 2 hours, we absolutely crushed them on it. I don't have the exact setup for it, but it was a jack. This is one of the things I was working later in the week on Monday, actually the last day we were there. But it was just a 3/8 ounce jackhammer with a Beast Coast trailer. But this is the new Blade Runner, whereas actually running the Flippin' Delight. It's on a little bit more compact, just a smidge. But really, really crazy good action on these legs when you mount this thing sideways. I love this for so many reasons. This is one of the most versatile jig trailers we've had thus far. Mm-hmm. And this weekend really proved it. The amount of jigs that you can put it on, the way you could trim it, everything you could do with this thing. You run it on Blade Runner, or on the jackhammer, it was phenomenal. But this is what I started with, and we crushed them for 2 hours. I think we ended up catching probably at least 20 to 25 just on the jackhammer. But I think we're probably between 30 and 40 fish total between jackhammer and a jig. And then the bite shifted. And for 30 minutes, we weren't getting anything. And we were still grinding the jackhammer. And I was like, well, maybe we need to slow down a little bit and do something different. And I forget what I was doing with the jig, but I picked up a jig, and it was this one. So, but the water being a little bit clearer, I went to what I always go to up there, or anywhere for really good clear water. That's the Beast Coast 1/2 ounce max feel jig and the pumpkin. And then I put the Flippin' Delight trailer on that as well. And I was just I started with the 1/2 ounce version of it first. Sorry. I forget what I was doing. I think I got stuck in little weeds and I popped it and then got trucked. Caught it. Well, I don't know. It was another 3-pounder. And that's the thing. Almost every fish we caught was 3 to 3.5 pounds.
Yeah, it was. They all felt like 5-pounders too. When you set the hook in those things, they just don't move. They're just like, I'm staying here.
they fight different up there. They really do. It's an entirely different world. So the Andrew was like, oh, okay, maybe they switched. Maybe they were feeding on the bottom. But I would have a hard time believing that they would switch from, because we were burning those jackhammers. I was like, maybe we could do something different. I was
Especially
like,
the last day I was burning.
Oh
that
my
thing.
God, yeah, you were.
I was as fast as I could, and then boom, it was crazy.
And the bite can change like that on the drop of a hat, drop of a dime, whatever the phrase is. But usually it's not too dramatic. So I was like, well, all right. We were working those jackhammers pretty fast. They clearly want something reactionary, but they're not willing to really run it down. So I caught that one, and that's where my thoughts went. I was like, what I'm going to try and do? I'm going to try power dragging a football jig, which essentially what I was doing was bomb it way out, hit the bottom, and almost not stopping, but never really lifting it off the bottom either. Power drag, keeping the rod tip down for a foot to 2 feet max. Reel up the slack, repeat, reel up the slack, repeat, and just never stopping. Then maybe working a pop here and there. And we just crushed them for the next 6 hours.
Yeah, it was insane. It was just one after another after another.
And it was all over this giant shallow flat. You could tell that they were staging, but they were definitely not bedding. It was weird. We didn't see a single fanned out bed anywhere on Friday. Nothing. We saw fish that were acting like they were bedding, but it was more like they picked out their spot and they were just hanging out yeah, no, this is going to be my spot. It's not quite ready, but this is where I want to be. But they were just sitting on little patches of, whether it be a random rock or it was,
or one cinder block or...
Yeah, a little patch of leaves or something. Because you had nice clean sand, also you get a dark patch of just particulate that had built up. Mm-hmm. and they were just camping out on that. And we'd be going by kind of high on the trolling motor, and you see one, and it'd kind of spook off like 5 to 10 feet, and then come right back to that area. And they just kept making these big circles. I was like, maybe they are bedding. We couldn't figure it out for a few hours, but the more we saw it, we realized that they were just staged. They
weren't actually fully committing and fanning off the beds, and they were like you said, they were just picking their spot and kind of waiting until the conditions were right to actually start to fan out the beds. And it was weird.
It was
just
weird.
Really weird the way that they were acting.
I think it's because it was such a rapid rise in temperature. It pulled them all up, and they're like, "Oh, damn, it's go time! Like this is the time we got to get to." We were talking to Dennis about at the end of the day. I can't say it because my kids are watching, but the way he basically summed up bass spawn in the most hilarious way. But he said they found the same thing. Like you just started casting towards the shore, drag it out fast, and that was it. That's all you had to do. And we worked, I don't know, 3 different very large areas. And it's something we talked about a lot in all of these shows thus far. Like that first rapid warm-up, they're not that far off those spawn flats because the moment the water temp hits the right, they want to be right there. And that's exactly what we saw. And then later in the weekend, when it cooled off a little bit, they pulled right back, especially the last day we were there, because it was quite a bit cooler than Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. They moved right back out to that next staging area. We did finally start to see maybe a half dozen to a dozen different pairs of fish that were rolling at each other. So they were starting to do the dance. But everything else, we couldn't catch them shallow. We were still shallow, like 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah.
But everything pulled back like 60, 70, 80 feet. So they were on the cusp, but they weren't quite locked in, ready to do it, at least not in droves. And that was it. That was the gist of Monday. We went over. I had a hunch. Dennis confirmed it as soon as we talked to him, and we just worked that shallow pattern in and around spawn flats, and we just crushed them for the next 6 hours, all on jigs. Vast majority of them for both of us came on some variation of this. It was, again, the Beast Coast Fishing Maxfield. It's the 1/2 ounce football jig. And I think we're working a 3/8 ounce football jig.
I think I was using this most of that day.
You were using the little Magnum. And that was the stealth crawl, whereas I was just working the green pumpkin. But he was working a 3/8 ounce little Magnum, which is a finesse, basically punching jig. But because we were working it so fast, it didn't really matter that it didn't stand because you were essentially swimming it while it was dragging the bottom. That's how fast we were working these things. And it worked out great. I mean, that's it. That's Monday in a nutshell. And by the end of the day, we were finally done. We had somewhere between 70 and 80 fish. We lost count at some point, but we knew we were close to that number. Because at one point we were in like 50s and we were like, wait, we had like 50 or 55, or we couldn't remember. So we were just like, all right, we'll take the low. And then somewhere in the 60s, we lost count again. We're like, but like a couple, wait, 63 or 65 or 66? I don't remember. So that's how we ended up. Yeah, at one point, one of us picked a random number. We just stuck with that the rest of the day. But we figured it was somewhere between 70 and 80. I would say that most of the fish, in this case where they were doing that staging, and this is kind of important because there's quite a few places in the Lakes region of New Hampshire where you could find very similar results. Anywhere you could find that good mix of sand to gravel. And that's always been a key area for staging fish, especially smallmouth, that like to work those transition areas and where they like to bed. You have to find at least some areas, for the most part. I've seen plenty of fish that spawn just straight up in rock, but I tend to do a lot better finding them where you've got a good mix of rock and sand. And especially if you can find like an isolated boulder here or there on the outside edge of that stuff. Like every time we saw one of those, that was money. Like every time.
It's usually a bigger fish too.
Yep. So, I mean, that was it. That was Monday. And we went back. I dumped GoPro footage for the next like 4 hours. Yeah, on Friday.
Not Monday.
What did I say?
Monday.
Sorry, my bad. Friday, we went back. I dumped GoPro footage for like the next 4 hours. We got to sleep late. We're all jacked up. It was just a really fun day. Saturday was a little bit slower, but we'll get to that. In the meantime, who wants to raffle for a t-shirt or a hat? Who wants it? Think about that. Well, you know what? Should we just do both again like we did last time?
Yeah.
What if we do a t-shirt and a hat?
For the same person?
Yeah. We up the price a little bit.
Yeah, whatever. It's up to you guys if you want it.
That'd be $4 an entry. 6 of one, half a dozen another. I don't know. You guys tell me what you want to do. In the meantime, I'm going to read comments. We'll do a hat and a shirt in some way, shape, or form throughout the night. But we'll do apparel first, and then we're going to do King's Bait, wherever you put it. Sorry. And then we'll keep it going. Because Saturday was really interesting. Some lessons learned, which set us up for Sunday, which between what we found out from the first 2 days and then all the intel that my friend Dennis gave us, which honestly, hats off to him, our weekend would not have been quite as successful without having his literal decades of knowledge and experience in that area. And I said that to him, and I said it to Andrew, this was a legit fishing vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I love
catching vacation.
Oh yeah, dude. I love, don't get me wrong, I love going out and figuring out the pattern. I love that chess match. That's what drives me every time. But it was nice to be able to go up somewhere that someone booked everything. They told me where to be and what time, and they're like, buy all these baits, any range of these colors, and fish anywhere in these areas, and at some point, you know the rest to figure it out. So, I had 90% of everything for this whole weekend done and placed on a silver platter for us, and we just had to make the right decisions to make the most of it, and boy, did we.
This was just a weekend where we were just let's just go catch fish. We need a break. Let's just go and do our thing. And we had a lot of help with him, with Dennis giving us a hand and giving us a bunch of spots, and we didn't really have to work too hard, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So, the one thing we didn't cover about, because so we caught 70 to 80 fish, but what was your big fish from Friday? Because the number of 3.5 to just under 4 pound fish we caught, I want to say almost 50% of them were in that range. It was stupid. I've never been
big fish on Friday.
I know I had a 4 pound 1 ounce. It was the only 4 pounder. But I can't remember what yours was. If it was 3 pounds, 12 ounces, or 13, 14, 15. You were somewhere in that. I think you had one that was 315.
I think it was 315.
Yeah. I know you had several. We had so many. I
don't know.
315.
There was so many fish. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't remember. I'll look it up right now. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh yeah, because you actually took care of that. Yeah. I don't know. So it was funny because probably around hour 6, we're like, I really want to catch a big fish. But we looked at each other but this is just so much fun. Set the hook. We doubled up dozens of times throughout the weekend, too. It was awesome.
I didn't weigh it.
Oh, you jackass. Anyway. Oh, wait. This comment's going away.
It's got to be close to 4 pounds.
Yeah. That was pretty damn close to 4. South Jersey. What up, guys? Got hooked in the neck today in the process of losing a 5 to 6 pound fish.
Jesus.
Then she jumped and thrashed, and the lure flew out of the mouth towards me, and boom, but caught 5 other good fish. That sucks, but that is all awesome. Damn. That sucked. In the neck of all places. Sorry, man. Hey, Kara, what's up? Mike, Silver Platter Smash Fest sounds like an ideal vacation. Yes, sir, it absolutely was. You spelled my name wrong. I don't want to talk to you. No, I'm kidding. Told you Champlain on May full moon would be incredible. 3 pound rats just don't count there. You're not wrong. We caught a 3 pounder, and don't get me wrong, 3 pounders up there catch they fight damn near 4 pounders here in New Hampshire, and I'm not exaggerating. Part of it could be time of the year, but I've been there throughout the whole season now, and they just fight different up there.
Every time we hooked into them, seen our hook sets, we lay into these fish because we don't want them to get off, and they weren't moving. You set the hook on that thing, and you're trying to get it up out of where the hell it is, and you can't move it. It was incredible.
It really was.
It was a jig bite of my dreams.
Mm-hmm. Man, finally got back from work on time to catch the stream. Looked like a hell of a trip. Thanks, man. So what do you guys want to do here for raffle? You want to do a t-shirt or a hat? We'll split them up. Instead of doing the combo, we'll keep it separate because not everybody wants both. But we got those Real Northern Bass t-shirts, which, by the way, if you're interested in buying one, I dropped the prices a little bit. I really want to clear inventory more than I want to make money on these, although I do need to at least make my money back because I want to do shirts like this in the worst way. These long sleeves, they're UV, they've got the hood, and they're phenomenal for fishing in the summer. So I want to do these, but I got to clear out all the t-shirt inventory before I can put more money down to buy these things because it's not going to be cheap per se, but not expensive. It's just because of the bulk order I'm going to do, it's going to add up a lot. But cost to you guys in the end really won't be that much. But that's what I'd like to do. Jig Bite of Dreams. Yeah, Mike, I know you guys were talking about it in the Discord. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it, but yeah, buddy, you really need to get to Champlain. Which for you is not that bad of a drive.
No, what is it, like 3 hours for you?
Probably, yeah, I would probably say 3.5 to 4 hours.
So it's like the same as ours.
Yeah. My guess would be 4 hours. What would your drive be to North Hero? Just pick a random area up in Vermont.
No way, dude. It was like 2.5 hours to Champlain from there.
Well, yeah, but you go to a really far west.
Oh yeah.
And I think from there you actually have to go up to essentially the St. Lawrence River and then follow that
west.
main highway all the way down
to get to the bridge.
Yeah, was it I-81? I forget.
I don't remember.
From your house, how long would it take from you to get from your place to like North Hero, Vermont? What I say? All right, I see one person say shirt. No, they don't have thumb holes in the sleeves. Sorry.
It's Wednesday.
Must be Wednesday. Damn right, Hellabass. Anyone fish Crescent Lake in Wolfboro? I have. It's a cool spot. Definitely worth the trip. That's all I'll say. All right, I see one vote for shirt. Bass Pro Tender Tubes. I didn't have any with me. I saw somebody say that, and I had already talked to Andrew. I was like, if the water temp was right, I was thinking throw a tube. And I worked a tube probably for like an hour before I went back, and this was
first
day
cast back,
3.
you got a fish.
And it was good fish. And that was like the moment that something clicked with what we were doing with our jigs that set off. At that point, we already had like 20 to 25 fish. And it was literally that moment where I switched from the tube back to the jig that set off like that 40 fish stretch. Mm-hmm. From that, we spot locked on one spot for 3 hours, and I think we caught 40 to 50 fish. It was the most insane thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It was fun. He'd catch one, and then he'd back off, and I'd go to the front, and I'd cast, and I'd catch one, and then he'd go up, miss one, and I'd go up, miss one, then he'd catch one, then I'd miss one, then I'd catch one, and then it was just like, it was insane.
Yeah. Mike, North Hero is literally halfway between you and me. Let's make a day trip, buddy. Meet us out there one of these days this summer. We'll get into a jig bite. It's going to be great. I saw one person for a shirt. All right, let's do a shirt, and we'll continue to talk. So it's 8:44. It's already getting late.
Holy, that was quick.
You know what? We'll do one just to make life easier. Shirt or hat, whoever wins, get your pick. $2 an entry. I'll put it in the chat in a second for both. You can do it either way. You can put it here in the chat if you're set up. $2 per entry. You can do it through PayPal, PayPal and Venmo. Everything's down in the video description below. We'll go ahead and we'll do the raffle thing, and it'll be good. I just realized because we're not set up through StreamYard, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to share the wheel of name picking.
The Wheel of Death.
The Wheel of Death. The Wheel of Death.
Just trust us.
Yeah. So 8:45. I'll give it till 8:55. So everybody, go ahead, drop it in there. I'll get the notifications. And we'll do
do it on your phone?
choice. I probably could, but that would take a lot longer. You know what? I might be able to figure this out.
Okay.
I'll figure it out somehow. I don't know. Or you guys can just trust us. we haven't shorted anybody anything here yet. What'd you say? Best fishing week of my life there at North Hero. Come on down to Highland Lake, Stoddard. Show me how to fish it. I do like that lake. Andrew and I won a tournament there the last time we fished there.
Yeah, we did.
We had 4 for 13 pounds, something
It was
like
like
that.
10 years ago. How do you remember that?
I remember the wins. It was only 5 boats, but it was a good day. So I went up there the week before, did a little pre-fishing.
That was probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That is a fun lake, though. I wouldn't mind going back there.
I wouldn't mind going back there either.
It's cool. The shallow water action. Oh, right. I got to put that in the chat. So, PayPal is 603.
Texas rig baby brush hog. That's how you win tournaments there.
Bam. There should be no space in the Snoov 603 bass, by the way. For the Venmo.
Oh,
How
why
about
am I
it?
touching that? Oh, God.
There we go.
Gross.
2 down already. I like it. Thanks, people. You're all the best. Yeah, these new Beast Coast trailers stink to high hell.
If these didn't work so well, I wouldn't buy them because they stink so freaking bad.
They are a very strong scent.
But they work so goddamn good.
All right. Day 2. Definitely a lot slower. So we can cover this. You know what? Hang on. Let me set a timer so I don't go over. Yep. Come on, Sean. Figure it out. 8 minutes. God, Jesus. Stop. Play. There we go. Okay. 8 minutes. So day 2, we went back out and we tried to basically replicate what we did from day 1. No, I take that back. Because we had such a good day for numbers on day 1, we swung for the fences. Went back, talked to Dennis, and he was like, okay, well, what do you want to do for tomorrow? I was like, I still want to stick with largies this whole time. We've already had tons of good days for smallmouth over the last several months. So we're like, let's just keep the largemouth train rolling. He's like, okay, here's 10 different spots. They're all north from here. Your first one's going to be about a 10-mile run. But
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
they all set up for like great potential. So it was one of those like run them hard, run through them fast. Don't stick around. If you got 20 minutes and no bites, get moving. So that's what we did. And it was just slow. We only had a total of like 30 to 35 fish. Another one we lost count. Nothing big. Bunch more. Well, a handful more in like 3 3/4. We had quite a few 3 to 3.5s. And then it was actually a really good day for like 2.5 pounders. But it's more the same. Jigs. We went to that marina. We got stopped by Marine Patrol.
Oh, that was the day we spent way too much time at the bridge.
Yeah, and Dennis told us not to do that. But
I know,
like,
but we did.
we were like,
Still
well, we
caught
got
like 10 fish off it.
We did. We tried the inside piling. It's a great spot for summer when they all move out and there's current, the bait fish are moving through. But in this particular spot, we're like, well, they're in the marina. We caught a few. Why wouldn't they be right off that breaking edge for the first piling? So first cast in with a jig, I caught one. And unfortunately, I think I caught 5 before you pulled one out. And then you went back, caught a second one. I'm like, oh, you know what? I've got a Vermont legal Alabama rig tied on. I'm going to throw that. First cast, I got trucked, but it hit one of the dummy hooks. Threw it right back in. Second cast, boom. I caught one that's like 3 pounds. And I was so jacked up because I'd never caught, I've caught stripers on it, but I've never caught a bass, smallmouth or largemouth on it. So I was like, hell yeah. Turn around, like high five, and unpin it, throw it back, look up. Marine Patrol's gunning us down. I'm like, shit.
I really hope I have the copy of my license in my phone.
That's all I could think. It was like, did I remember my license? And I really hope I got this Alabama rig right. And I like as I'm putting the rod down, I'm saying, hey man, and I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, good. No, pick that back up. I need to see that. I was like, oh yeah, this? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, 2 real hooks, 3 dummies. At this point, he's right against the boat. He quick look. Oh yeah, you're good, man. All right, just wanted to make sure. You know, a lot of people come up here. They don't know the rules about it. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I looked into it. He's like, all right, well, you know, license is, yep, go through it. I got a digital copy. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Pull it out. You got a life vest, song and dance. We talked for a few minutes, and the guy took off, and it was fine. But it was funny because no matter how many times I see him, even though I know I'm in the right, I still poop a little.
Son of a bitch.
Every time.
Yeah, taken away from my fishing time. Get out of here.
But then we saw a lot going on the bridge. We ended up sticking around there for like almost hour and a half, 2 hours, I think.
I'd say probably 2 hours.
Yeah, we should have left after the first half an hour. After we hit that one piling, we should have bailed, but we didn't because we saw enough that we're like, maybe like something special's happening here. Nope. Well, one thing special, we saw our first gar. We saw a pair of them.
Well, up there.
But yeah,
On
that's
that
true.
lake,
We saw
yeah.
one on Lake Ontario.
Yeah, big one.
That thing was huge. I think it was fat. That was the most impressive thing about that one on Ontario.
We were out like 15 miles. It was just swimming like a foot underneath the surface.
In 40 feet of water.
Yeah, and stupid ass prehistoric fish.
But
I
yeah,
didn't live that long. Being so dumb.
Great question. Yeah, we saw a pair of gar. But you know, that was pretty much it. We ran all those spots and then eventually we ended up coming back towards where, you know, we were staying, and we ended up putting, I think, like half of the total fish for the day in the boat in the same area we fished day one.
Like 2 hours.
Yeah, worked that shallow flat, just jigs again, kind of power dragging them, just, up another 3-pounder, another 3-pounder. Ooh, a 3.5, another 3-pounder. Oh, yeah, 3 3/4, 2.5, 2.5. Yep, it's late. I'm hungry. Let's go in. Because day one, we were supposed to go out to dinner with Dennis and Bill, but we were having way too much fun. He texted me. He's like, "You guys still have good for dinner?" I'm like,
No, we're staying out.
hell no.
We'll eat when we get off the water.
Yeah, but then day two, was it day two? Yeah, day two, he was like, he called us. He's like, "You guys going to go?" And at that point, it was kind of slow. It was late. It was like already 7 o'clock. We're like, "Yeah, we'll be right there." So
God, that dive bar.
yeah, that burger was delicious.
The burger was good. The singing, not so much.
No, all the yokels were out, man. They were
Oh, man.
hamming it up for karaoke night.
That was great.
It was loud.
Raining man. That freaking old lady. That was awesome. I
brought
sent
out
Ashton
their
a Snapchat of that.
Did you really?
Oh, it was good.
But yeah, and then we went and had a delicious burger. Let's talk about that really quick.
It was amazing. It was actually... They were talking shit about this place, how bad the food was.
They did say that he was like, Dennis said, he was like,
burger.
but their burgers and pizza are legitimately good. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna get a burger.
Thank God I didn't get the lasagna.
No, that I know you said it. I was like,
I was
Jesus.
hoping it was like a giant portion of lasagna because I was starving.
what, like a Garfield-sized portion of your own lasagna?
Yeah. That's what I was hoping for.
Hey Joe, I gotta get back to the chat in a second. But yeah, it was a maple. Oh no,
There's nothing left in it.
maple Swiss. I think it was maple provolone mushroom bacon burger on a brioche bun. It was amazing. All right, sorry, Cameron. The swim bait bite here has been amazing. Hell yeah, man, that's what I like to hear. Beds in the loft and space in the dock. Hell yeah, dude, works for me. John, dude, it's outrageous how bad these things smell. Yeah, no, like tell you what, if you have one of these Beast Coast trailers like on a rod in your truck, and you like hot summer day and you left your windows open,
It really does smell like cat piss in a bag of Fritos.
I don't want to get out. I've had enough. Get. If you left that in your truck like on a hot sunny day, your truck will reek the rest of the day. It is potent, which is
Very
good.
potent.
But
It's good for catching fish, but
You know what I like about it, though? They're just as potent smelling as like chompers, which has like a really thick garlicky scent to them. But chompers are super greasy. These aren't. So you got all that scent,
no,
but
these are literally just like normal, regular, dry plastics.
yeah, because it's like it's actually in the plastic versus like dousing it. So it's good. Grat smells like yep. You're right.
Cappy.
Austin, did you guys ever get down to Thai? Never left North Hero, but when we got out of the New York main lake stuff, we got way colder temps. No, we never. We had no reason to leave. We fished. I'm trying to think. We really only fished like a handful of spots because we had no reason to leave. We were on good fish. The quality was showing up. Dennis got into way more quality than we did, but I think that was more timing than it was anything. Dennis is a hammer of an angler anyway, so he knows what he's doing.
Got a bowfin off the dock.
That was hilarious.
I woke up, I put coffee, I was like making coffee, and I look out just to see him on his, was he on his BFS?
Yep.
Catching a freaking bowfin. Like, I look down on the water, he's on the dock with his rod doubled over. I'm like, Dennis is on something. And I open up the thing, he's like, it's a bowfin. I'm like, grab the coffee and be like, on my way.
He's like old man shuffling down. Oh, there we go. Oh, I gotta go through.
That thing was good. It was probably, I don't know, probably 6-7 pounds, maybe 8 pounds.
Yeah.
It was big.
Oh boy.
Mill River Brewery.
I gotta go through
Beer.
a lot of these.
What is all that?
I take that back. Okay. Wow, only 3 people in on the raffle tonight?
This could be easy.
This could be very easy. I kind of feel bad. Nobody wants to do the raffle. All right, I'll get to that in 1 second. What were we were talking about? Yeah, we just never had to leave that spot.
No, there's no reason to. We were there to catch fish, and the fish were all there. So why leave and try and figure something else out when we don't have to?
Right. But yeah, it was another, so day 2, about 30 to 35 fish, all jigs again, literally nothing else, just jigs. And actually, it's a little bit different this time. So one of the things that was working really well was the Beast Coast open water sniper with a little finesse craw trailer on it. So this was the Yamamoto Fat Daddy. I forget. It's like a 3.5 inch like finesse craw, and it works really well. But what I was doing was trimming off about a half of an inch of it, and it makes it just for like a really nice, compact but still bulky profile. And I've been doing this for a little while now. Sometime late last year, I started using this, and it worked exceptionally well. I started doing it again this year. This was great.
I've been using those for a while.
Yeah, I lost quite a few of these because the zebra mussels and the rocks up there are not friendly. But that was it. Andrew did really well. Actually, changed it up a little bit because the water we found when we were running around is a little bit more stained. So we did this instead of just all straight green pumpkin. Went still back to the half-ounce Maxfield jigs, but dirtbag. So it's pretty much all black and brown, but there's a couple of strands that are black with green pumpkin mixed in, and then a green pumpkin trailer. And just having that little bit of extra black and brown, like it was literally immediately. Yeah. As soon as we switched to that.
Yeah, it was like you might get bit in every 3 casts or 4 casts, but with this, it was either you miss a fish or you catch them. Like, almost every single cast. It was magical.
Yeah.
Very magical.
And then, but yeah, it was more the same. Actually, there was a few fish we did sight fish out. Again, they were staging. So
we probably caught how many fish off? Like, actually, not
like legitimate, no questions asked.
Bedding.
That's a bed. Maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe 5. The rest of them was like, I don't know if that's on a bed or it's just hanging out in that one little spot and no idea what it's doing, but we're gonna catch them.
Yep. How many did I sight fish out? We're just like bombing, chomoed on like 70 or 80.
So many.
And I'm like, there's one that pitched a jig in front of his face and just
yeah,
like
that one that you're like, oh, there's a fish. You toss in and it was like, oh, yeah. Dude, that was sick. That was so good.
That's the day I wish we could have been able to film underwater too.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
It would have made for a great thing. Mm-hmm. So 2 things, and I'll get to this. Joe, water level up there was still a little bit low, but not bad. So where we launched, typically
only like a foot.
Yeah, I would say that.
Like about a foot, because all that like
foot and a half.
That slime shit there was only about a foot of it around the whole lake.
Yeah,
well, that area.
Yeah, no, they. I would concur with that. It really wasn't that bad up there, so which was nice. It made for a nice, easy running everywhere, especially where we were staying, which is typically pretty shallow anyway. But yeah, we had no issues with it all weekend. It was great. So there was that, and then the other thing I was going to say, hi Bob. There was that. There was something about Saturday. I don't know. No, that was it. All right, so I'm going to let you start with day 3.
I gotta look at pictures because I have a horrible memory.
Day 3 was the 102 fish day, and that was where like a lot of everything that we had from talking with Dennis and everything that we had found ourselves when we were out there and everything just from previous knowledge, the whole 9 yards, it all came together with the most perfect time you could imagine on 2 mega schools. Literally between 2 spots, I think we caught 80 of our fish out of the 102. And then the other, 22, maybe upwards of 30-ish fish. We caught like a couple here and there from another half dozen spots. But between 2 schools, one school, I wouldn't even call it necessarily a school, it was like a spot, and they just kept reloading and reloading and reloading for 3 friggin' hours. And then there's the first spot we started on, it was absolutely a school, and it was all just like 2 to 2.25 pound smallies. Like,
what spot did we start in?
As cookie cutters we get, right off the buoy. The big pillar buoy.
Oh.
Channel marker. Sorry, yep. Channel marker.
Yeah.
And then we went back to that same spot and found that whole school had shifted about 200 feet to the bank. And I don't know, we probably, I can't even begin to tell you how many fish I thought we caught from each school.
Like, we literally went up over this one spot. It was like a long straight shoreline with a bunch of rock. And that's all it was. And at the bottom of the bank, it was maybe 8 feet deep. Was it 8 feet probably? Roughly around there?
Yeah, it was average. Like 8 to 9 feet.
And then it would like slow. The further down the wall you went, it came up slowly and it kind of averaged out around like 4 to 5 feet, maybe 6 feet in some spots. But we were just kind of trolling along, and Sean was just like, there's one. There's schools of fish everywhere. It was, and you look down and you just, okay, there's like a probably 3-pounder. Ooh, that one might be 4. And it's 2, 1, maybe 2. And it was just, you're flipping in, it was getting to the point where I was like, I just want to try something different. I want to try catching them on something different. So I started throwing that little 3-inch swim bait down the shoreline, starting in deeper water and bringing it back towards the boat because we're heading up towards shallow water. And just some of those fish that we had seen previous that I was trying to hook into, and hooked into, I don't know, God, maybe a dozen on that little swim bait. And then, was that the day I threw the spy bait? I think I switched up.
Yeah, because we had already had so many fish. Like, and I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, I got the spy bait. She's like, I'm doing it.
I freaking love that bait for smallmouth. Man, that lost me the biggest smallmouth of my life up on Lake Ontario.
By the way, it's one of the only times I've ever seen him legitimately angry on the water. One of 2 times.
I was going to say.
One of 2 times. But in all the years and hundreds of times we fished together, only twice has he lost his shit. And once was...
And I didn't even get it. I didn't even like... I was just quiet. I was like, I gotta sit down. Just not say anything.
Yeah, but not before like an explosion of emotion and swears for about 5 seconds. And then it was silence. Then you knew. Like I did it Monday, our last day on this trip. We'll get to that. But yeah, it was... Anyway, you got redemption on it.
Yeah. So spy bait, I needed redemption on that. It was, I think, second cast with it, and I hooked into like, it was a teeny tiny little, maybe like a half pound, maybe 3/4 of a pound fish. And that felt so good to actually land another fish on that bait. And it's been, 3 years since I've thrown it. I just didn't want to pick it up.
2 years, because we last went in 2020. It was literally the last day of our trip.
Yeah. And that was I didn't see the fish. I mean, I did kind of see it, but I didn't up in Lake Ontario. And he says it was over 5, if not bigger. I don't even know.
Bigger. It was like 20 feet off the boat, and I can still see it. It was legitimately one of the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen. And the messed up thing was we saw that fish for 3 straight days. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't the same fish, then there was multiple fish of the exact same size, caliber,
same color,
roaming the exact same damn gap. Clockwork. 3 straight days in a row, we saw that fish. Yeah. And then he hooked it.
And I hooked it, and it jumped, and it spit it, and I hate my life. Anyway.
Yeah, we got to figure out this summer trip here. I got to figure everything out. If we're going back to the St. Lawrence now, or if we're going to do it later in the year, because we get the Champlain thing with the Candlewood thing and Oliver. But like, there's like 2 big things that can happen like within days of each other, and I'm like trying to figure out, can we even do both in that time frame?
I would not mind going up to Champlain again. I mean, not just because we caught all this fish, just like that place. It's like a mini St. Lawrence River.
Well, there's 1,000 different ways you can catch fish on any stretch of it at any time of the year.
Yeah, like, you don't just go up to the St. Lawrence and just throw drop shot.
Oh, Ned rig, something different. And drop shot.
Just gets old.
Yeah. Yeah. Until you hook into one of those river living beasts. And then it's like, okay, yeah, this is great.
Okay, this is cool.
All right, let me do the raffle thing really quick here. I got everybody's name in here. Because of the stream software, I could figure out maybe in a few minutes, but I don't want to waste any more time. And
watch, I'll just do this.
Brian!
See?
Wait, how you gonna... Oh, there you go. Smart. Show the camera. Whee! Did it not let you take it? Because I just closed it.
There we go.
There you go. Uh-oh. Focus. Focus.
No. Well, it said Brian E.
Brian, congrats, buddy.
Brian wins.
Text me. Let me know what you want for shirt or hat. For shirt, what color and what size, buddy? And I will get that mailed tomorrow because I have another order I have to mail tonight anyway. When are we heading to Candy? I don't know. I can't go this weekend. Maybe the weekend. Actually, you know what? Next weekend would be good.
Got one on this.
Was that day 2 or was that day 3 when we had the 100 fish?
I think it was day 2.
Was it day 2?
Pretty sure it was towards the
end of
day 2.
Back it up to day 2. I think you're right. Back it up to day 2. I did it. I caught a fish on this. I caught a fish on the freaking glide. I could have cried. I was so happy.
It was awesome.
We were working just a line of docks, and Dennis already got through and absolutely crushed him. And I forget what we were doing. We caught a couple in the jig, and it was getting kind of late, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. I've got like almost 20 fish in the boat now. I'm going to throw the glide. So we knew they were on the dock, and I've finally figured out how to work this, that, you know, I can get it to lightly twitch one way to turn it, and it only moves a couple inches, and then I can make it glide like almost 4 feet the other direction. So either way, left or right, I with the setup I have and how that bait works, I figured out how to make like insanely wide glides with it, which is what I love about this damn thing. And I got within a foot of the dock. The first twitch came out a couple inches, and then the second twitch brought it under, and then the third way under, and then second, and then the third like just got progressively deeper into the dock, and we could see the fish. They were just underneath the dock, and the third glide in, the thing went way under, and I just felt thump. I was like, ooh, set the hook. Ended up being a 3.5 pound largemouth. Mm-hmm. So not a huge fish by any means. I want to take a picture of the bait in the fish, but the front treble had fallen out, and it was at that after we got him in the net. Front treble was out. Rear treble had him like kind of in the head behind the eye, and I'm like, I don't want to take a picture of that. People are gonna think I snagged him, so we didn't take a picture. But yeah, that was honestly one of the highlights of my trip.
That was cool.
I would put that in top 3. That I finally got a fish on that.
So long to catch a fish on that. I was like, dude, just throw the fucking glide up there.
Well, and the wildest thing was how many times we see like multiple big fish following that thing out.
Lots.
There's one point where we saw.
I threw my depths too, and I was terrified.
You threw it like a few times.
There was a couple pike up there, like a couple thousand pike, that would love to swallow that depths. Terrified.
That would have been a very sad day indeed. Yeah, I don't know. There had to have been at least a dozen times where I had multiple fish following that bait, and I didn't throw it a ton, but every time I threw it, like we knew there was fish everywhere, and I was like targeting like the highest probability areas, like obviously docks, and then long, shallow, rocky points, especially that little rocky point that we were fishing. I threw over it 5 or 6 times, and literally every time I had multiple fish, just like,
what is that?
Oh!
I want to sniff its butt.
And the first fish, the first time I did it on that rocky point, I had a good fish. It was probably at least 4 pounds, just right behind it, and that fish actually swiped at it.
Yeah, and then you missed him, and then you threw back in, and you got the other one. Didn't you?
No, I didn't get one on that because I was off the rocky point. I only got one fish on it.
Yeah, you're right.
They kept following it, but I couldn't get him to commit. But it was cool being able to see that bait call out so many fish. But yeah, the highlight was at one point we had 5 fish follow that bait out, and honestly, God, they all looked like they were 4+ pounds. Like they were all just big fish. Looked down like, oh my god, just one of you bite, please.
Then you got like a little freaking tiny little fish.
Oh yeah, little 6-incher coming up. Oh, get him, boys!
Oh, we found that down tree too. And I threw the Alabama rig in like a foot of water next to this tree, and this like 2 to 3 pound smallmouth comes up and just
Saturday?
Puts its face in the center of the whole thing and grabs a dummy.
I thought that was Sunday.
I don't
100
remember.
Fish Day.
That may have been it.
Because we went back Monday when we were in that area.
And there was nothing there.
There was nothing there. So it was Sunday you did that.
Yeah.
So that was a Saturday trip. Brian, I forgot to answer you. No, we didn't try out the drone. We had it charged. I need to figure that thing out this week to get it set up on my phone and use it.
You got to find the cable for that.
That's right, because I have Android. I've got a cable for...
I have the app on my phone now.
Okay, never mind. We're just going to use his phone.
DJI. Go on.
There you go. All right. We're going to figure it out this weekend because Sunday...
Oh, dude, yeah. Yes.
I don't like doing it, but I've said multiple times, everybody in their life needs to experience bed fishing at least once.
He is going to have a blast.
I'm going to take my oldest son out on Sunday. Yeah. We should do it.
Yeah. I'll ask my sister.
Okay. So Sunday, as long as the wind allows for it, that's the biggest thing. And I got to figure out where we're going to go. We have a couple of options. I'm going to take my oldest son bed fishing because he's only ever caught one smallmouth, and I want to just see him have his arms pulled off. So if we can do that, we'll set up the drone too. As long as wind plays right, and we can't go bed fishing anyway. Regardless, we're going to take my son fishing. We'll get out there. We'll make it a good day.
Pre-spawn bites too, hopefully.
Yeah, but I got to come back early for my niece's birthday, so I don't really have all day on Sunday like I normally would. But we'll still have a good chunk. And we're debating going up north. Right now with weather and water, I'm looking at a spot. I think it's going to pan out to be like pretty fun bed fishing day. Go out there for like 4 hours, catch a bunch of fish, be great, head home. We'll work it out. But be a great time to fly a drone. But at any rate,
I'm literally throwing the glide the entire day. I'm not going to throw anything else. I'm going to try and catch some glide fish off beds.
you know what? I'm with you.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yes, it will.
Try different things. Throw frogs.
This and a frog.
Chicken,
That's
whatever.
literally all I'm going to bring. If I catch one fish, it'll be great. Yeah, it's going to be upper 90s on Sunday. We're not going to last long. The kids aren't going to last long.
No, they won't know.
No. Well, I got Jared all like the sun gear, so at least it won't be too bad for him. But I have
Lots
to
of
bring
water.
a gallon of water
Bunch of ice.
per person.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. But
Hot.
where was the stuff from King's? All right, tell you what, we'll do the day 3 recap, and then we'll cover the King's Bait stuff. So stick around because this is just for free. So for anybody that's still watching, we're gonna just do a giveaway. We've got baits that King's Bait was very kind to donate to us, so we can just give to you guys and hook you up, and hopefully you guys will check them out. We'll put all their social media and stuff down in there, and we'll go from there. But so day 3, the 102 fish day, that was nothing short of magical, and this is where like the difference in jig presentation and location was absolutely key, especially location. At one point it was more location, and the other point it was definitely much more presentation, what we were throwing, like how we were trimming it out, the whole 9 yards. But we went out and we wanted to, I'm trying to think, right, we wanted to fish a specific spot. There was a boat out there. That's what it was. I'm trying to get my head right. Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about.
The gap.
I know where we are.
The gap of Rohan. That's a Lord of the Rings reference for you.
Yes.
So we're going to go try and fish this gap. And it's a unique spot because of the structure and current the whole night, just everything playing into it. But there was a boat sitting on it. So we're like, all right, no worries. We're going to go over and fish a line of docks and see how it goes. And we did that and the wind was ripping at this point. We're out of the south again. It was probably the windiest it had been all weekend at this point. And we got to the first line of docks. I'm like, I'm going to throw a spinnerbait because like today I want bigs. I was doing an online tournament too for swim bait. So I already had 1 4-pounder, a 312 and a 313, which I knew wasn't going to cut it. So I really needed a 5 and another 4 I felt would seal the deal. Turned out to be true. I was 1 place out of winning a bait by 5 ounces. Chap my ass, but this is what it is. So we went up and we started just fishing these docks, and right off the bat I got one on the spinnerbait. We only fished that for 10 minutes? I think you had one off the dock on the jig. We turn around, spot we want, open. We're like, well, we may as well go now before it gets hammered by everybody. We pulled up, and we could see the potential, but it didn't quite go off at first. We were there for maybe 20 minutes. We got a couple of fish, but everything was starting, like, we were marking fish, and everything looked good, but it just wasn't right yet. They hadn't quite moved up. They weren't pushing bait up against the bank or anything, and they were just, like, but they weren't really attacking. We could see bait and bass, but not a ton were roaming the middle. So from there, we went and worked a channel marker, not that far away, and on the back side of it, I don't know, man. You were the first one to do it. Because I was working the outside on the deeper side, and you threw up shallow, and boom, you ended up catching like 3 or 4 fish. But I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll throw up shallow, and then I caught like 2 or 3, and we ended up catching like 20 fish out of that, and then the school died. So from there,
And then it got real windy. And we're like,
yep,
let's move up.
went back to the gap. I found a spot from the other day where we had caught a couple of fish where with a 3/8 ounce jig, if you cast into this specific spot, and I shit you not,
No, it was literally like a 1 square foot spot.
Yep. The boat position had to be perfect, and you had to hit this spot perfect. Because when you did, and I'm not exaggerating, literally every time we hit that cast, we caught a fish.
There was actually
not joking.
2 spots on that spot like that.
Yeah, and the secondary
The largemouth
spot,
spot on that spot, and
Yeah.
then the other spot was the big smallmouth spot.
the other spot was like clockwork. Like you'd catch a fish, wait 10 minutes, maybe 15, cast back in, you get another fish. And it was like that, like literally every 15 minutes, like, oh yeah, it's probably not, flip back in, boom, another fish.
And there were different fish every time.
Yeah. Yeah, because everything was off like a quarter to a
Got
half
that
pound
one
difference
that
in
had
size.
like 1 eye.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fucked up.
Winky. But like I had the boat positioned in a way that we could cast to kind of like either side of this point. And I threw up and I paid attention where my jig landed and boom, I caught a fish. I'm like, oh hell yeah. So I threw right back up, and my jig landed right back in the same spot. I'm thinking about. I said to Andrew, I was like, "Oh, that was cool." I cast right back in the same spot. Boom, caught another fish. I was like, "Wow, dude, maybe they're finally schooled up here." So I cast back up, and I missed by like 3 or 4 feet on the deep side. Nothing. Threw back up again, same spot as the first 2 casts. Boom, caught a fish. And I looked at him. I was like, "Dude, I think there might be something to this."
Yeah, then I tried, and I cast about 2 feet to the left, a little shallow, and I got snagged. I got stuck. God damn it.
Yep.
I was like, that'd be really cool if something bit it off. Pike. Pike bit it, and I got him, but God damn it.
Bob, to answer your question, are you guys seeing most of fish or sight fishing? Wait, most of fish, sight fishing, or with electronics? In this case, it was pretty much all electronics on this day, day 3. The prior 2 days, it was a mix of the two, but mostly just sight fishing. So for a large part of the weekend, we had almost everything off on the electronics, especially after day 1 because we almost killed the battery because we just forgot we had everything on even though we weren't using it. But so now he cast up a little too shallow, got stuck. I cast a little too deep, didn't get anything, but every time I've hit like shallower, this one spot had to be like 5 feet off the wall, but you had to come like almost 10 degrees off being parallel to this stretch of shore.
Yeah.
And that was it. But
Like,
the speed
like
of the
if
current,
I was casting at the back of the boat, I wouldn't hit it. You had to be on the
like almost in the
middle of the boat. If you're on the front, it was too much of an angle because you're coming down the bank too fast.
Yep.
If you're on the back of the boat, you weren't dragging down the bank enough.
Yeah, you're like right in the middle of the boat, right in front of the consoles. Like
Pretty
that
much.
was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And you had the right angle. And 3/8 ounce bait, because then I broke off because I cast too shallow where Andrew did. Same deal. Got hung up, broke off. And I'm like, well, all right, zebra mussels, it's a thing. So I tied on a 1/2 ounce jig, thinking like, okay, well the current, like I could tell the current was pulling my bait through there pretty fast. I didn't get bit on anything right away. Probably for the first like 10 minutes. And then Andrew cast up there and caught like several more fish. And I'm like, I'm going back to the 3/8. And first cast back with the 3/8.
Boom.
Caught a fish. Threw right back in that same spot. Caught a fish. Right back to the same spot. Caught a fish. Missed. Threw back to the same spot. Caught a fish. And it was like that for 3 hours. Then when we started getting stuck, and it was funny too, because if you went like just a little too deep, there was another rock.
Oh,
there was 2 rocks. One you get stuck on. The other one was covered in zebra mussels. You can pull your bait off. But then you had to retie like this much of line every single time.
You literally felt stuck, like you do this and you're stuck, like you're trying to get it out, shake it out. But you literally had to take your rod and pull, and it would just pop free. And then you'd have to retie.
Yeah, and there's always be a zebra mussel on your hook every single time. Hey, different baits, what's up, buddy? So we, that was it. So this is where it got interesting because, again, the thing we noticed, because Andrew, I started like out catching Andrew pretty hard for a short period of time because difference in color and presentation. And I don't have it because I broke the last one off the last day we were there. No, I take that back. Let me get it. I have one on this rod.
Well, I was doing something just a little different, though. He started using, what are these ones? I don't remember what. Are these, you what? Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's right. That was the last one. It was just an expensive weekend. I went through probably 20 Beast Coast jigs, maybe 25. And I just remembered it was, so there's, I gotta look it up because I want to make sure I get these right.
It was the, that was the one that had the lighter, like the lighter skirt count, right?
Yes.
Well, what is this one? Is that the Chigger Craw? No, that's the...
Yep, no, that's Chigger Craw.
The Chigger Craw. He started doing this. I saw him do this, and I was like, well, he can do it with that one. I'm going to do it with the Beast Coast one. So I literally took it. I'm not going to bite it right now because I'm not fishing. I took the full-size one and did this. Boom. More bites. Instantly. It was no more missing fish. I had a couple short strikes. You could feel it when you get that stretch, and then it pops free out of their mouth. I shortened that up, and now that hook is pretty much sitting right between these legs here. So they were coming up, biting the legs, but they were also getting the hook.
Yep.
And that pretty much produced, my bad, I had to cut it. It was already used. It was ripped.
I'll just have to do another one.
There you go.
No, I got it. It's fine. Got it.
There you go.
That didn't last. All right. I'm sorry. I was distracted looking at this. What did you just discuss?
When I saw you using the trigger craw.
Yep.
And
No, I wasn't using trigger crawl first. I was using this, the
yeah,
Yamamoto.
okay, I saw a smaller presentation.
I ran out of one of those bags, and the rest were back at our cabin. So then I started using a trigger crawl, and that was working just fine.
Yeah, and then I did the same thing with this.
Yep.
On the open water sniper.
Yes. And so this is where it was weird. There's like two different combos that worked, but essentially it was the same thing they were trying to go for. Something a little bit more subtle, but also aggressive, trying to find that happy medium.
Short and fat.
Yep. What we found was 3/8 ounce was definitely key because the weight of that jig and the size of that profile, the way it was catching the current, excuse me, I'm really burpy, allowed it to float down just right, that it hit the spot that they were feeding up against. Perfect the whole way through, but it wasn't falling so fast that it was just burying itself in the rocks. And that was absolutely key. And one of the things I actually had started with that seemed to be working well, especially because it was floating down with the current, was I was actually throwing a twin-tailed grub on the back of the open water sniper. And that was working pretty well, but then I felt like I wasn't getting bit as often as I should. You switched to that, where you had the Flip and Delight, and he showed,
Yeah.
he cut it way down to almost nothing. Basically right down to the last rib, but left everything else the same. And the benefit to that is these legs kick like a mother when they fall, but then they still stand up straight. So you get that attraction of the legs kicking on the fall, but then when it hits the bottom and it's down there, the legs are still standing straight up. So, it makes it easier for the fish to see it, pinpoint it, and attack it from there. At least that's the theory I've always gone off of.
Yeah, just short, fat profile, easier for them to eat.
Yep.
Smallmouth. You don't need some giant bait to attract a big fish.
Exactly. So from there, I remember that when I look at the open water sniper as, especially any of the MB, which is their magic bug colors, typically all of the open water snipers have, I believe it's a 40 strand skirt. On the MB versions, it's a 22 strand skirt. So I was using the Sexy Melon, which is basically a green pumpkin with some black, like finesse, or kind of subtle stripes. It's actually this guy right here. But also has some purple flake in it. I don't know if you can kind of see how it's essentially just green pumpkin with some black in it. But the MB Sexy Melon, again, has purple flake in it. So I started throwing that with a spider jig, but it really wasn't getting it done. So I went to this with that Yamamoto craw, and that was killing it for a little bit, but those things don't hold up for crap. Like, you think a Senko is soft, that's next level soft, which was really infuriating. So this is where we started really experimenting around with things. We tried the trigger craw, and that worked, but at the same time, not really. Like, the claws are a little too long for what we wanted. There's really no action in them when they fall, which is why I like them for cold water. But they were standing up, so, if you kind of work it aggressive, you can kind of make them flap, and it works. But it still wasn't the right combo. Well, then Andrew threw this on, and it got me to thinking, like, okay, his is a little shorter than I want it to be. And then when you really look at this, especially on the 22-strand version of this, like, it's pretty bulky. The body of that is almost as wide as the skirt is when I was down there. So I'm like, all right, let me try something. I didn't have scissors. I had side cutters. But this is essentially what I did.
I use my teeth.
So there's a whole series of ribs here. And I really hope, hang on, let me pull up the actual live feed. Live. There we go. How close am I? Pretty close. I can get closer. But I want to make sure the mic is at a good spot because these don't have that much range. Okay, so you got the whole series of ribs. What I was doing was going back to the third rib. I did that. But again, it's still pretty wide. So it works because what I really like about the open water snipers is it's got a really good sized bait keeper on it. So having more meat on it is good, but to me, this didn't look proportionate to what I was trying to present. Like, yeah, the body is great. So the hook point is going to come out almost right where the legs start. And there's still plenty of meat for for the bait keeper to grab hold of it, but it was making it too big in the middle. So I didn't like the way the first one looked. So what I did then from there was go to the side, and all I did was I fold the legs out of the way, and I just trimmed, I don't know how well you can see this, about that much off the side. I did both sides. So I essentially almost, maybe not quite halved it. Maybe it's like now 2/3 as skinny as it was. Where's the original? Oh, do we have another like untouched original?
Yeah.
I'll stand up for this and get closer to the camera. But, so, now you get original versus what I just did. Oops, I'm going sideways.
There you go.
This is really hard. Yeah, it's good enough.
You can tell. It's skinnier and shorter, but with the same doublers.
Yep. That was the ticket. And the moment we both started doing this, well, for it almost didn't matter, but at the same time, I really felt like it mattered because then at one point when I did this, I started outpacing you 2-1 real fast.
Mm-hmm.
But then the bite changed again, and it didn't really matter as long as we had something like this for a trailer on there. They were feasting on it. It didn't matter if it had the sides trimmed or not. And I trimmed that pretty sloppily. It's not even. But if you go a little kind of quicker on it, or slower, sorry, pay a little bit more attention to detail, like this worked phenomenal as a trailer. And it's funny, I was talking to Derek. I told him what I was doing. He's like, why would you do that? It's like, because it worked. Given what we were seeing, you needed something that was still kind of subtle, but had that action of what you would get from a bait like the Flippin' Delight, which essentially it's not the same. Do not get me wrong. It is not the same, but it's along the realm of what you get of like a Rage Craw, right? Or the Rage Lobster, the Denny Craw, Rage Lobster. I forget what the hell the thing is.
Robster.
They kick quite a bit on the fall, but because of the style of them, the legs still stand. So it makes it easier for them, the fish to follow it down. Again, at least that's my working theory. That was Sunday in a nutshell. We went and hammered those two, that one point, and we kept looking at each other like, this is stupid, this is amazing, like, what the hell is even happening? And we said, what did we say, 20 minutes? That if we went 20 minutes of the bite, we knew that the school was just not going to reload, that was it.
Yeah.
And the wind definitely played a key role in it too. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as the wind died off, boom, 20 minutes later, bite was done. Like, we hit our 20-minute mark, we're like, I guess that's it. Then we went back to that spot later, and the wind still wasn't up, and the fish never reloaded. We checked it, I think, 2 more times after that. Actually, I think we checked it 3 or 4 more times, honestly.
The next day was slow too.
Yep.
A little bit.
But there was no wind blowing into it at the same time. So it was interesting to see how it all played out. But we got there at the right time. We continued to play with what we were throwing and how we were changing the presentation, getting the size, the length, the whole 9 yards, the weight, strand count. And same deal, like Andrew seemed to be doing a little bit better with the full 40 strand count than I was. But when I was out of the MB Sexy Melon, I ended up taking another one that I had. I think it was I forget what it was. I know it was another open water sniper, but it had some almost bluish strands in it. And I started peeling all those out. So I got it down to like closer to a 30 strand count.
Something gill.
Yeah, and immediately like started getting bit again. So it worked out. Once that spot dried up, we went back to the first spot, the channel marker, and fish were gone. But we looked at the bank. We're like, oh, well, the sun's been beating the crap out of it. The wind hasn't been too bad over here. So let's check it out. Because we knew that like that's kind of a spawn area, and there's a big spawn flat right next to it. I think it was your first cast. He stuck like a 3.5-pound smallie. Mm-hmm. And then, we didn't even talk about the quality on that 3-hour spot. But anyway, the rest of the day, we ended up, I think for the next hour and a half, we worked that third spot because that whole school shifted. So it was just 2.25-pound smallie over and over and over and over again. And it was incredible. Just because like how quickly they were hitting. Every fish was fighting like its life depended on it. We worked down the bank. We found that tree that you talked about in a foot of water.
Yeah.
We saw 2 largies on it when we were done. When Andrew got hung up on it, we had to get him free. That never bit once. But every time you cast a jig in there and like burned it out real quick, you'd have like 10 or 12 friggin' smallmouths just come friggin' rifling out.
Yeah. Dude, it was insane. It was an incredible week. long weekend. It was just, we could literally just catch them on whatever the hell we wanted to when it came down to it.
Yeah, but jig was the way to do it.
Mhm.
We probably could have done well if we threw a jerkbait in some of those areas, but they were very clearly, very happily feeding down. And that's what made it just awesome because we lived for that jig bite. But that one spot where we were spot locked for 3 hours, like I said, we probably caught, I really want to say we probably caught between 40 and 50 fish. Yeah.
Off that one spot, yeah.
We'll call it closer to 40
Yeah.
off that one spot. But it also kicked out like
Big fish.
big fish at one point. We had like almost every fish was between 3 to 3 3/4. And then all of a sudden we hit a spot where I cast up and I caught a 4-pound 1-ounce smallmouth. And then I caught, I think it was a 4-pound even largemouth. And that was the cool thing about all these spots. It was mixed. It was the largemouth and smallmouth mixed in
You
everywhere.
never know what the hell you're going to catch.
Nope. And we were going for largemouth the whole time, but everybody was intermingling in this area. It was amazing. And then I caught, what was it? I caught the 4-pound largie. I had to retie. You cast right back in. You hit the spot perfect. He sticks a 4-pound 12-ounce smallmouth. Which, had I caught that, I would have won a bait for the weekend. It's just how it goes. But then he also caught a 4-pound 5-ounce largemouth out of it. And then I caught a 3.5, and then like a 3.10, and I think another 3.13 smallie. Something like that. And you caught like 2 more 3.5s. Like we went like 10 or 12 fish right in a row. They were all like 3.5 and bigger, including 4 4-pounders. With you leading the biggest at 4 pounds, 12 ounce.
Yep.
Just all of a sudden, a whole different class of school moved up, and they started feasting all right back to back to back to back. And it was one of the most incredible things we ever experienced. And then what did we do to end the day there? We go back and work those docks? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we worked docks, and I caught like fucking like 15 more fish off those docks.
And you got the drum. That's right. So we knew it was getting late.
Yeah.
And Dennis and Bill were like, we're going to do dinner. I'm like, we're not. We'll get there eventually. But at that point, I think we were at 90. No, we were at 80, 85. High 80s.
Yeah.
We're like, no, man, we're not done till we hit 100 because we knew like we could get it. So he's like, all right, we'll fish the docks. So we did. And we ended up getting to 93, I think, before we moved. We're getting to that, Jim.
The drum.
And this was, I remember, I think I caught 3. I got 91, 92, and 93 or something like that. And then I didn't catch another fish until like hour 1.5 the next day. But like the last hour we were out there, Andrew absolutely slayed them, including that 15+ pound drum.
That was incredible.
I don't know why I didn't count the ounces. I just remember seeing 15 pounds and I disregarded everything else.
I
I'm like,
did
it's
too.
15 pounds.
I think it was like just over 15.5. I think it was like 15.9 or something.
Yeah, I'd believe it.
But it doesn't even matter at that point. Giant freaking fish.
Yeah. So where we were staying, there was like 4 or 5 docks, and we hammered them. We caught a bunch of fish. And then we were like, okay, well, like there was a bunch of people staying there. Everybody, like as soon as we moved off the dock, like 2 people walked down and they started fishing it. So like, well, let's move down and fish like the last 4 docks. And we were seeing drum everywhere. What did you do? You just bombed that jig out deep randomly,
Yeah,
right?
he started. You were working that dock.
Oh, yeah, it was one skinny dock, and the way the boat was coming down, I was like,
You were
I'll
doing that,
pitch
and I was
into the
like, I'll
deep
go over
end,
the
you go
shoulder,
shut.
and I just bombed it out in the middle of. There was like a couple like marker buoys, not marker buoys, mooring balls out, maybe like 50 to 60 feet off the front of the boat, like out towards deeper water, like maybe 5 feet,
Yeah, 5 to 6 feet.
5 to 6 feet. And I just bombed my jig out there because I've caught fish before, just dragging a jig through grass. And actually, last day that actually got us a few fish.
Yep.
And I was just dragging this thing, and all of a sudden I felt pop up. I'm like, ooh, I actually have a fish. I got a bite. And then I felt one more big thump. I'm like, oh, he's got it. So I set the hook, and it just
Didn't move.
didn't move.
With a 7.6 heavy fast rod and 20-pound line? Or is that 15?
That's 15.
15. Didn't move.
Didn't move.
I always know when it's a big fish, when he sets the hook and he goes, like 2 seconds of nothing, he's like, I'm like, you got a big fish? He's like, I don't know.
I have no idea what this is.
Do you need the net?
My brain just stops working. I'm hyper focused on what's going on. If I have to, there's so many things going through my mind when I hook into a big fish. What like everybody should be like, should you adjust your drag? Should you do this? Should you do that? Should you move to the front of the boat? Should you move all like swing the boat around, do something. Who knows? Grab the net with your feet. Who knows? But I hooked into this thing, and it kind of came towards me. I think I hooked it. It was coming towards me when it ate it. And then I just remember feeling just like the biggest head shake of my life. And it just started going. And I couldn't stop it for about maybe like 2 seconds. It just peeled drag, like a lot of it in like 2 seconds. And then I finally got it to the point where it could get to we could see it. It turned and we could see it. And I was so stoked. I was like, I got a fucking drum! I got a drum! Finally! And when it saw the boat, it turned and it just went. I could not stop my drag. Like, how locked down was my drag? Like,
it
was
when you were done, I was like, how locked down was your drag? And you was like, man, it didn't move.
Like, this thing was just like drag gone, like just peeling line off my reel. Oh, it was incredible. But we finally like got it to the boat, and we're like, how the hell are we gonna get this in there? I don't know if it's gonna fit in the net. It did fit in the net, but terrified just to break the net by lifting it. So we both grabbed a hold of the rim of the net and like lifted it into the boat. Oh, that was incredible. It was like catching the biggest. I don't even know how to explain how it fought. It was just
like hooking into a linebacker.
Yeah, a bull with wings. I mean, bull with fins. It was.
Dude, that thing turned at one point, and what he peeled like 30, 40 feet of line,
if not more,
and just like not like a burst, pause. No, like just line is disappearing. And I looked at him, I'm like, do I turn the troll motor on and go? And he's like, I
don't know. I don't know what to do. That was incredible. That was probably one of the coolest catches of my life.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. That was sick.
That was incredible. King Baits, thanks for joining in, buddy. You actually have great timing. So, I mean, we're going to do the giveaway for King's Baits here. The one thing we have to do is in the bag, anything has a black check mark on the bags are for us. Everything else is for the raffle. So we get to take out the jet black check marks. But yeah, so that, I mean, thank God. All said and done, he caught that drum and that would have been, he caught that drum and I forget. I think that would have been fish 100 actually at that point. No, I caught a pike. That would have been fish 100. That was the only thing I caught from like fish 93 until 102. Andrew literally caught the last 9 fish of the day. But we just went back. We kept working the docks and we hit 100. And Dennis is like, you have to do more than 100. No one's going to believe you if you say 100 even. And I'm like, all right. So we hit the next 2 docks and another fish. And I was still in that online tournament. So we ended up fishing right until 8 o'clock because 8 p.m. Sunday night was the final cutoff for weighing in fish. And I couldn't get another fish. I got 4-pound, 2 ounce, a 4-pound, 1 ounce, and a 4-pounder.
Hi, DJ.
Is that right? No, I take that back. It was a 4.2, a 4.1, and a 4.1. Two smallies and 1 largie. So I had 12 pounds, 4 ounces. The last place to get a bait was 12 pounds, 9 ounces. So I was close. Just need that one more fish. Couldn't get it done. Hey, DJ. And hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
How's it going, buddy? Thank you for the hooks, by the way. These things, we were showing them off earlier on the stream.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Thanks.
I'm really digging these. Especially, you weren't kidding about those drop shot hooks. Obviously, I'm not showing them, but yeah.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, dude, he even hooked us up with some decals, by the way. Yeah, some die cuts.
Well, those are sick.
Fancy. I dig it.
I like stickers.
So we'll do the King's Bait thing in 1 second. I just got everybody's links up so we can do that. Brian, are the drums specific to Champlain or are they in any lakes in New Hampshire?
I don't think there's any drum in New Hampshire. I think there is some down in like Western Mass. I think. I don't know. That's.
Well, are they really called drum or are they more specifically called sheephead?
It's like the same thing.
New Hampshire.
It's like calling a pickerel or a piece of shit.
Same thing. That's so true. Freshwater drum, New Hampshire Fish Finder. Let's find out.
It's like calling a burbot a cusk.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Well, technically, sheephead live down in like the warmer salt water. Black and white stripe. things, and they got weird teeth.
Yeah. No, I don't
like
think they're in New
human teeth.
Hampshire.
Probably not.
Wait. No. Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire. No. No. I don't think we have them. Sorry, go ahead. So I don't know. They are called drum. Thank you, DJ. So
Yeah, freshwater drum.
Really? In New Hampshire?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody catch one in Winnie
Winnie.
or New Hampshire in general. I wonder if they're like really limited in numbers.
Probably.
Interesting. Anyway,
There's red drum too. Wait, what? There's redfish in New Hampshire? Wait, no. What?
what website is that?
That's the one you were just on for Lake Winnie.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like actual like New Hampshire official. If it's not New Hampshire official, then I'm not. Well, I mean, let's be real. That's not exactly that accurate anymore now, is it?
No, there ain't no. Yeah, there's Texas Shiners.
Okay, yeah, just close that. We have no idea for New Hampshire. I don't think so though.
Yeah, there's paddlefish in Winnie too. Do you know that?
No, I didn't. Next thing you're gonna tell me, there's striped bass too.
There's black buffalo too, and bigmouth buffalo.
All right.
And Rio Grande cichlid.
King, we love the baits you sent us too, buddy. They look awesome. Thank you. Ben, Andrew, I thought you're right, or I think you're right. I want to say, I saw someone caught one in Wachusett Reservoir or Quabbin or one of those restricted lakes in Mass. Saw it on a Mass fishing group newsfeed. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some in like somewhere in Western Mass. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
New York kind of area.
Okay, so we're gonna do a random giveaway, and which are those ours or are those the giveaways?
Those are ours.
Okay,
These
so
are the giveaways.
from King's Baits. This is random. You don't have to buy in. It's not a raffle. We're gonna hook somebody up. We already did a raffle for the t-shirts, and for that we thank you very much. Brian, if you're still here, don't forget to text me. Let me know what you want: hat or t-shirt, and what size and color, the whole 9
You want to
yards.
show them off first?
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm gonna put their social media here in the chat. They are on Instagram
Do they have like special names for them, or?
and they're on Facebook. So depending on which one you have. Whoa. And they wrote us a little letter. I want to make sure. So, from King Baits, we just started and trying to sell and get our name out more. Thanks a lot, guys. Would love to come on the show and talk about starting a small lure company and about fishing. Keep up the awesome work. So, just two dudes that have a passion for fishing. Start making their own baits. I want to get the name out. They actually reached out to us a little while ago. What? Sorry.
Said the names are on the letter.
My bad. I read right through it way too fast. Did it? Ian and Ed from King's Baits.
No. Names of the lures.
I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm sorry. The names are on the letter. Oh, okay.
And Ned. Black and blue, watermelon.
King Ned.
King Ned.
So King Ned in black
King Ned.
and blue and watermelon red black flake.
Looks like a good little Ned rig.
We had King Ned. Oh wait, no, these are ours. Sorry, that's for us.
Ooh. No, we have one.
Yeah, but he wrote down what it's supposed to be for the raffle lures.
Look down on the floor what we have.
I know. Oh, what do you have?
These are for the raffle.
He didn't write it on the note. It's not
Well-
there. Oh, right there. King Ned in black and blue. Haha, I'm slow.
Black and blue Neds. Then they're actually like plastic's actually pretty. Feel that.
Oh yeah, dude.
Those will stay on the hook.
Yes, they will. All right, so you got King Ned in black and blue. I think it's anise.
Anus?
Anise. Ain't it?
Anus?
Anise.
I have no idea what you're trying
For
to
the
say.
scent.
Sounds like licorice.
Yeah. Which I think, isn't it anise? I don't know. I'm tired now. What else you got? And red. That's the Pro Shot and watermelon red black flake. Man, I'm having a hard
good
time.
drop shot bait or Ned rig bait or any really good top. Yeah, probably like a
Dude,
Ned rig or
honestly,
drop
that would
shot.
be drop shot, Ned rig, and you might even be able to
Shaky
Demiki
head.
rig that.
Or shaky head it maybe.
Shaky
like
head, maybe.
Like a smaller shaky head.
Yep. Yeah, that's like a bulkier, shorter profile, but I would absolutely throw it on a shaky head. It's got plenty of meat on the head that you can throw it up. Your hands are going to be all sorts of greasy. When you do
Yeah,
that.
sure they are.
Don't worry, I got you.
Ooh, dude.
Got you a towel. Ooh, me likey.
It smells good. It's
All right, what else we got?
almost like a licorice Vicks.
Ooh. Wiggle worms? Wiggler worms.
That'll go
Yeah,
good.
wiggle
That'll be a
worms.
shaky
Green
head.
pumpkin, red, black and blue. And yeah, that would absolutely be killer on a shaky head. And honestly, drop shot middle of summer when they like things a little bit better. And then Dead Vinegar and Watermelon, which looks like a really nice swim bait. Actually, I saw these first when I opened the box.
Yeah,
I was like,
those look real good.
oh, hell yeah. It's a little bit more slender than I would say like a Kai Tak Swing Impact Fat. Maybe just by a smidge. But they look good. I don't know why I'm not holding the bag in a way that you guys can see it. I'm sorry. I am dumb. Paul Wiley, someone say drop shot.
Someone say drop shot.
But anyway,
Be
whoever
on a
wants
little bit.
these, we're going to do, what do we got? We got 44 people watching, 43. So pick a number between 1 and 60. It's 9:46. You got till 9:48. Go. Between 1 and 60.
Drop shot.
Pay attention to the chat. Make sure you're not picking the same number, and I will make sure that we pick a random number for
Are
you.
we giving this all the way to one person?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Everything's going to one person. So I put all of their social media up there in the chat. You guys should absolutely check them out. Good dudes. Again, I've been talking for a little while here and like to support the little guys too. So
Where are they out of?
for the life of me, I can't remember off the top of my head. Hang on.
Lakeville.
Can you read
Is that the? I can't. I'm bad at reading.
Oh. Oh, Lakeville, Mass.
Oh.
Neat. All right. Close that. Close that. Too many things are open. I was right. Anise is licorice flavor scent. Yeah, that's what it is. Lakeville and Freetown, Mass. Thank you, King's Bait. The Pro Shot Watermelon won me a tournament tonight. Biggest bass wins. Hell yeah, buddy. Congrats. That's right. I did see that comment earlier. I didn't get to address it. Thank you. That is awesome. All right, you got less than a minute. 9:48. Pick that random winner. What did I say? 1 through 60? Which is perfect. There's only 45 people watching.
Jerry, if you want to send back your hooks.
Anise sounds like a weird scent, isn't it? I've seen much more garlic and coffee. No, actually, anise is a very common scent for baits.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? No, it wasn't smelly jelly. Maybe it was smelly jelly. Because I know smelly jelly you can get in the jar where it's like Vaseline. But then
They had
for a
one with
while,
the stick, didn't they?
they had the stick, and then they had one that was like almost like a syrup. That
Oh, it's gross.
oh, dude, that stuff got everywhere. But it was nice because it was convenient because then you didn't have to touch it. You could just take your bait and like, just squirt it all over your bait. But it didn't
And all
last
over
quite
everything
as
else.
long. Oh, dude, it got everywhere. 9:48. All right, everybody get their thing in? If I win, pick again. I just like guessing. All right, sounds good. All right, so we need random number generator. Random number generator. 1 through 60. Right now it says 9. That is not the answer. All right, here we go.
What are we doing?
Ow.
Okay.
Oh, can you click up here, please?
Computer things.
Thank you, sir. Whoa. Come on, zoom. Focus. Focus.
Sleep. Sleep. What is that, 9?
Yeah, well,
Starting on 9? Is that
that's not the winner, but yeah. This is really hard. Anyway, boop. 53. Go
Any-
click 53.
Where are we? Okay.
Over there.
52.
Oh. Nobody? No.
That's it. Nobody got it.
A lot of people watching. Nobody guessing. All right, down. All right, try again. Really? 56? I really wish I could figure out how to get this to focus. Yeah, see, I go too far back. You can't read it. Still no?
Nope.
Come on.
We'll go till somebody
26.
wins. 26.
You can kind of see it.
25. Oh, God.
Really?
Nope.
We need more people to guess. No 26?
Nope.
51. I saw 52. Really? 29.
69.
Of course you did, Austin. I didn't realize so few people guessed. 4.
Ah!
18, right
TV.
there.
TV's got it. Wait, hold on. Make sure nobody else above him didn't get it. Oh, Cameron Mello.
Oh, Cameron beat him to the punch.
Cameron got it before you.
Cameron,
Sorry, TV.
congrats on winning the stuff. Go ahead and I don't care how you do it. If you want to send me an email, that is honestly better, 603bass@gmail.com, or you can hit me on Messenger if we're connected there on Facebook, Instagram, whatever works, man. Let me know. We'll get your address. I'll get these shipped out to you. Again, thank you very much, King's Baits, for hooking us up so we could do that giveaway. Greatly appreciate it. For everybody else here, scroll back up on the chat a little bit. There are links to both their Instagram and their Facebook page. You can check them out. Let's wrap this up. Day 4. So, you know how I said earlier that I had a really tough day on Sunday, and how I said just a few moments ago that I definitely I didn't catch any fish for like the last probably 45 minutes on Sunday. Yeah, that continued for Monday. We only had about 4 hours to fish. So we went back and we just ran the same spots. We tried that one spot. We hit that mega school. We checked it like 3 or 4 times. Nothing. We didn't catch a single fish. So we started running some other spots. That other school of all the 2-pound smallies, we checked both spots there. We didn't really crack them anywhere. Really anywhere for that day. No, there was one spot. There was a bay we meant to check on Sunday. And when we were going to go up and run it, when that first magical spot died, we went, hit the school of smallmouth again. Then we came back out and we saw Dennis and Bill were already in that this one cove we really wanted to fish. And they killed it. So we're like, okay, well, we checked everywhere else that we felt would be good. Let's go up and run there. And then Andrew put on a clinic. I got started with the first one on a chatterbait on the jackhammer. And this is where color really came in, because typically what I was throwing and what I would be throwing in these conditions is the green and purple jackhammer with just a green pumpkin trailer. And I was throwing, again, the Flippin' Delight as my trailer with that green and purple. And I got one. And then Andrew put on a freaking clinic with this. And it's almost like a golden shiner. And then we threw on, so now we were throwing this because I only have 3 different colors of the new Blade Runner from Beast Coast. Andrew threw on that color, which for the life of me, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think you caught 6 fish before I caught another fish.
Well, I've had the...
No, I think you caught 7 out of there.
What did I have before for a trailer?
The Miyagi. That's what you first did. And that was another one.
I cut down a Miyagi.
You cut like an inch off of it.
I cut the whole head off the Miyagi, put it on, and then I trimmed up the belly just so it would be a little slimmer. It wouldn't, or no, I trimmed the top. I think maybe it was the belly.
I think just you trimmed the belly,
so
a little slimmer, but you still got a really good kick out of the tail.
Right.
And that worked great.
I mean, I was like, I have a reel just to show you how fast I was actually reeling this in.
With a 6.4 to 1.
With 6.4, and this is a...
That's a 7.
But for the 6.4 to 1, your normal cranking with a chatterbait so you get it to move is just about like this. Just a nice, steady... I was doing this and then stop, reeling really fast, stop, reeling really fast, and they were hammering it on that pause. And it was incredible.
I think you caught 7 fish in like 10 minutes. And
yeah, probably something like that.
I caught 1. I had 2 or 3 chasers. And then I broke off a square bill, which I got back. It's a floater right back up. So I had to get that back. Awesome. And it was kind of weird. I couldn't figure it out, but I also wasn't throwing that same color. The moment I switched to it, I finally caught my second fish. So we moved spots because we fished for 20 more minutes. Nothing happened. And then the rest of the day, dude, I struggled. I only had 8 fish on the day, and Andrew had 12 for the short time that we had. DJ, the water temps that we had on Monday still actually came down a little bit. It was 63. 62 to 63 everywhere we were fishing. So it had peaked at like 64 to 65 in that spot, but it came back down a couple of degrees. I think it was 63 when we left by like noon on Monday. But so we went to another couple of spots, just recycling areas we'd already been through. And I have 15-pound straight fluorocarbon, Seaguar Tatsu. Didn't have a problem day 1. Started to have a little bit of a problem on day 2. Day 3 went fine for the most part. I still broke off quite a few fish, but we were also fishing in around a ton of rocks and zebra mussels, so I just chalked up to that. And I got to the point where literally every fish I caught, I was checking 2 feet up from my jig up the line. And if I felt a nick even at the 2-foot mark, I'd go up like 3 or 4 more feet. And there was times where I was ripping out 6 feet of line at one time because I had just phrase the whole way. It's not that old a rod. I just checked it. There's nothing wrong with it. I use rod socks every time I have my rod, so I know there was nothing wrong with the rod. I think it just got a bad spool line. But at this point, I think Andrew had 10 fish to my 2, or something like that. No, you ended up having 8 when I got up to like 6.
Yeah,
and then
caught right back up.
Yeah, but I also ended up, I missed 5 bites in a row, and I broke off 3 fish in a row before I finally caught another fish. I was mad. I haven't chucked a rod in a while. I heaved it, and I broke a hypermag reel, not the reel, the handle, carbon fiber handle. That did not feel good. I haven't lost my temper like that in a bit, but it's one of those things where I pride myself in how well I do with keeping fish pinned, landing them, always super diligent, and just checking my line and everything. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing wrong.
I really think it was the spool line. It had to have been.
It had to have been. But then what didn't...
I've had it happen before, and it was the same thing. It was breaking off, fraying super easy and breaking off.
Yep. And then towards the end of the day, we got back to the docks, and I felt really good about it. So I was like, you know what? Even though it's not like probably the right jig to do it, it was that bigger half-ounce Beast Coast jig. They were liking the smaller one. Even the other docks we hit prior to these, they wanted the smaller jig. I was like, screw it. It's straight 20-pound Abrasics. It's brand new line. I should be fine. Pitched into a dock. I watched what looked to be like a good size 4+ pound largemouth come out, smoke it. I set the hook and just broke it right off. And that was pretty much it for me for Monday. Like it had to have been a bad spool line. I got to order new stuff. I'm going to strip it all out, redo a couple of reels, and just be done with it. I'm done with Tatsu. It was really nice. It casts like a mile. I had really good luck with it. I still have one rod that's still really good, but like now I'm really nervous. I'm going back to Abrasics. I never had any problems with it. It works. The Tatsu is really nice in that it has way less line memory over an extended period of time. Dude, it casts so smooth. It's a really nice supple line. It's held up against a lot of great stuff. And I'm really just hoping it's this one spool that really screwed me. But I don't know. It was a tough day. I think all in all, I lost, what do you think? What'd you lose? Like 3-4 jigs? I think I lost 20.
Yeah, maybe.
How many fish did I lose?
I don't know.
Too many. I lost more fish this weekend than I think I did in like 3/4 of the entire season last year.
But we also caught
230 plus fish. So
it happens.
I know. And then it's one of those, I had a hard time with it. Simple as that. I try not to live in the past, good or bad. Like, was I happy that I had a great weekend? Oh, absolutely. But it doesn't change the fact that I got my fucking teeth kicked in the last day, where I probably should have had at least 20 fish that day. With how many I lost, how many I broke off. It was a lot of fish.
Yeah.
I probably would have had close to 15, but dude, I was in a very foul mood until I finally landed a fish after like an hour of just absolute struggle fest. And then finally, at the end of the day, I caught a drum too, 9 pounds on my big heavy jig rod. The straight 20-pound, freshly retied, half-ounce jig, 7.6 heavy fast rod, and doing the same thing as Sam. We realized like in the last half an hour of the day that everything had shifted out, and we bombed. He was looking at marker buoys, mooring buoy balls, and he bombed it out. Sticks like 3 fish. I'm like, okay, no, you're having too much fun. So I bomb it out and just dunk. I'm like, yeah, and I set the hook. And I'm like, oh my god! It ended up being a 9-pound drum, so it was fun.
Yeah, it was sick. That was a good way to end it.
It really was. And then we had to hit the road because we actually ended up leaving like almost an hour later than we were supposed to.
An hour and a half later than we were supposed to.
By the time we actually hit the road.
We were supposed to be on the road by noon. That's what our plan was. We didn't get on the road till like 1:30-ish.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, we were already like 10 minutes down the road. We had to stop at a gas station. I had to top off the truck. Made it 85% of the way home in that one tank, which is pretty good. Towing the boat over all those hills on 89. It's not friendly for the boat or the truck. But I don't know, man. It's 10 o'clock. So I guess like all said and done, it was essentially absolutely a jig fishing trip. We found them way shallower than we anticipated. Water temps were way warmer than we thought they were going to be. But we recognized what was going on. We made the adjustments as needed, and we just hammered them for 3 straight days and then did okay the last half a day. We did, again, about 230 fish, probably like, well, I figured we had 7 different species. We had that one giant pumpkin seed. We both had a big drum each.
You had
quite a few pike.
I had 2 pike. You had 5.
Yep. Smallie, largie, pike. I got 1 pickerel. I got that giant pumpkin seed. We got drum and perch. 7 different species. But all said and done, I think we had like well over 240 fish in the boat when you mix in all the species. Then the other crazy thing was Dennis and Bill only fished for 3 days, and they probably accounted for 180 fish themselves between those two.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, between 4 guys and 2 boats, we caught over 400 bass in 3 days and 4 hours of fishing.
It was awesome.
It really was.
I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking back, the only thing that we didn't do, and I literally thought about it as we were pulling into town, like we hit the town line into our hometown, and I looked at him, I was like, you know what I said I should have thrown and I didn't once? Was a shaky head. Mm-hmm. That, like, immediate, like, very last minute
we got off the road
action.
and I got off the water and I was like, I should have thrown a Carolina rig.
There's the only 2 things we didn't throw that we probably would have, like,
thrown it.
Really done well how we thrown those 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Shaky head for me does exceptionally well, like right before they spawn and for quite a while after they spawn. I do a lot better with it post-spawn though, but pre-spawn, especially what we saw on Monday, like that was the biggest thing where everything had pushed way back off the bank and they were kind of running that mix of bit of grass and gravel, sand. Like shaky head usually cleans them up in that. It didn't even think about it because, I mean,
didn't need to.
Right, we already had over 200 bass in the boat between jigs and jackhammer. Like we literally we caught 98% of our fish on 2. No, we caught literally 100% of our fish on. No, I take that back. The only jigs, jackhammer, and square bill. At one point, I finally got a quick little flurry for like maybe an hour and a half on square bill. I caught a couple of good fish on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude, it was just a good weekend.
Yeah.
What was the smallest fish you landed? I think actually Andrew takes honors on that, and it was when you were throwing the spy bait, right? Or was it the
little
bait?
It was a spy bait.
It was like a 6-inch smallmouth.
teeny tiny little thing. It was cute.
What do you think the number of sub 1 pound fish were that we caught?
Snake.
Oh my god, we didn't tell him that. Answer the question first.
What did you say?
How many fish below, like less than a pound, do you think we caught? 5?
Yeah.
I think I caught 1 that was under a pound.
I think I got, 3 or 4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We just got into a really good spot. And again, hats off to Dennis for hooking us up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like you said, I can't wait to go back. It was a phenomenal weekend. I wish it ended a little bit of a higher note for me on Monday. It was a little frustrating. Lost a ton of jigs. And now I got to replace them because I lost like pretty much all the ones I really wanted for my open water snipers. But that's part of the game you play when you fish rocks and zebra mussels.
There's snakes in that lake.
Oh yeah, and then there was that. We were fishing that one spot where we spot locked for 3 hours. One of us reeled in a fish, and then I like kind of looking this way, so I could clearly see Andrew on my peripheral. He's looking around. He's like, snake. I was dying. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's a snake under the boat. I was like, we better not come in the boat. And I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, there was like a 2-foot garter snake. For a garter snake, it's pretty big. Swam out underneath the boat and just trucking across the wide open water. I was like, oh, there he goes. It was a really cool one, too, because usually, like around here, the ones I've seen are mostly black, and those yellow stripes are a little more subdued.
This one had all sorts of different colors.
Yeah, and the
cool.
yellow was vibrant. Really vibrant. We saw a bunch of turtles. That was kind of weird. Osprey everywhere. Little, I don't know what the hell they are. They're not snappers. They look like a hybrid between a snapper and
painted turtle.
But I saw one swimming underneath the boat when he was stuck, and I scooped with the net the last day we were there, and he clamped down on the net and just like, let go.
Turtle heading.
He would not let go of the net for like a good 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
It's an adorable little thing.
Oh, boop.
Amazing sunsets, great time of friends, great food, especially day one. There's something really amazing about a real simple, just turkey sandwich.
Ham salami turkey.
Ham salami turkey with some
cheese with
spicy mustard.
Spicy mustard, mayo.
And mayo, yeah. And essentially not
And
Wonder Bread,
cookies.
but like some dope snickerdoodle cookies from that gas station / deli. Oh my God. And then they had that salted caramel cookie. Dude, it was like
my God.
this big around. The whole thing was like doughy. Oh my God. I'm hungry now.
Yeah. I'm starving.
That's going to do it.
That's going to do it. That
Thank
was
you
our
for
trip in
watching.
a nutshell.
Yeah, there was a lot of talking, but I guess the biggest takeaway was we got there at the right time. For once, we had a trip work out where like the conditions aligned that we could be there for the best possible scenario and situation.
Dennis.
And it was amazing. I miss your faces.
I miss your face.
I miss Dennis, we're trying to tell the clean. I think my kids are asleep. We were talking about when we were talking with Dennis after day one. We were like, well, like it looks like they're on beds, but not really. And Dennis was like, yeah, I mean, you can see them all. And there's like females and large sitting there. Someone come fuck me, but they're not really doing it. Anyway, that was a good way to end
It was a good weekend.
It was phenomenal. I can't wait to go back. I guess moving forward from here, it'll be a short weekend this weekend. I need to wrap up the Mother's Day trip that we did video. That'll be up this Friday. I meant to get it done before we left. I ran out of time. So that'll be up this Friday.
Maybe
and then I'm
live
hoping.
stream this weekend.
Huh?
On the boat. Maybe we'll stream it on the boat.
It's just bed fishing. Who cares?
Yeah, but we could still be live on the water. Still be fun.
Maybe. Oh, I do owe everybody an apology for not live streaming at all during this weekend trip. We got off the water so late every time, and I had so much crap to do for just basically managing all the GoPros and stuff, and we were freaking exhausted. The first night, we were out way too late. Second night, we went out to dinner, and that went really late. Third night, we were out wicked late. So, like, by the time we got off the water, my wife kept texting me, like, no live stream, huh? And I look, it's like, we're still in the boat. It's like 8 o'clock. We're like, oh, yeah, no, I guess not. And honestly, the Wi-Fi up there was really spotty, so I'm not sure it worked out anyway, but it was a great weekend. So next week, I have no idea. We have a couple of guests that I need to get in touch with to make it happen for upcoming trips. It's the spawn right now, so I mean, just take kids out this weekend. Following weekend, talk to Derek. Maybe we'll go down to Candyland. Candyland would be good. Weekend after that, I'm really hoping it'll be definitely post-spawn. There's that spot in Vermont I've been dying to go to. I keep telling you about.
No, next that weekend is going to be the striper fishing.
That's on Saturday.
Yeah. True. I forgot about that.
I gotta figure that out. Oh, dude, if we do that, that's gonna be it. So it'd be stripers in the morning, and then monster trucks in the evening in Foxborough at Gillette Stadium, and then I don't think we're going to Vermont Sunday.
Probably not.
I don't know, man. We have a lot of stuff planned. We're going to start now, we're going to start doing a lot more of these more technical videos too, but I'm hoping to get all these Champlain videos done as quickly as I can. I don't know how the hell am I supposed to break down a 70 plus fish day and a 102 fish day. I'm not going to ban you on the cyber trip. We're gonna make it happen. I mean, I have to talk to my wife. We got to talk about St. Lawrence River too. I can't remember. Like, are you like hard yes or hard no?
Hey,
Like,
manager went golfing today. Left early at work today to go golfing, so I can take a Saturday and go fishing.
yes, you can. I'm gonna walk in and be like, he's going fishing. Okay.
Calling him out. Fuck him, Tiger Woods.
Anyway, yeah, we get a lot. So I'm a 68% yes. Okay. I got to talk to Brian. There's another guy we're supposed to be going with, potentially meet up there. We have multiple options for how we're going to make this work, but I want to work around you first, then we'll go from there. The other plan is we can always go up, and I'm really kind of like feeling this. Oh, DJ. Yes. Make that happen. I'm trying to think. There's so many trips to work around. St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario, we can either do at the end of July 21st to the 25th is right now the tentative dates. And then, or we can go up in October, but then there's also the Berkshire Fall Classic, which apparently everybody is fishing. I talked to Kyle. He wants to go. Will apparently is going to go fish it.
I want to do it again.
I would love to do it again. I know DJ and everybody else said they want to do it again.
It was just fun.
It was great. It was an amazing
Besides
weekend.
that one dickhead.
Oh, fuck that guy. You want to hear? Do we ever tell that story? real quick. This dickhead, because that's what he is. He's a dickhead. Pulled up between DJ, who was fishing this spot for hours, and then ourselves, who we were like, hey, you good? And he's like, yep, you're good. And we pulled up, and we were fishing probably 200 feet away from him, both casting towards each other at two very specific humps that were stacked with smallmouth. And this dickhead was running down the lake, saw us, pulled his boat right in between us, and just kept drop shotting straight down on this. And then they had the audacity to post about it, saying, we pulled fish up on spots that nobody else could catch them from. It was great. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
Anyway, there's a really negative way to end this. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you all for watching. Andrew, sign it off. DJ, I'll be in touch.
Yes, DJ. I miss you. But we will see you guys next week, every Wednesday. And dude, I do it every fucking time.
You had it great right at the beginning. Just think back to that.
Every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, youtube.com/603bass. Be there, or you are just a square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink monsters.
Thank you, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. Have a great night.
See you, bye.